We are live with a breaking news information just coming in about an action that is occurring in Wisconsin, a mass action to rescue beagles. Let's take a look at the kind of animals we're talking about here. We're talking about beagles that are being bred for laboratory investigation and experimentation. And this has been an ongoing battle for years now to try to secure the fate of these beagles. There's something like 2,500 beagles in the facility in question. Unchained TV just received word that there is a live mass action that is in progress in Wisconsin. This is breaking news. We hope to be able to bring you live video from Wisconsin any moment now of this mass animal rights action. But what I can tell you is that this is something that has been a long time in the works. Let's listen to Wayne Hsiung, who is an animal rights leader and an attorney, describe what is going to be happening any moment now.
I'm in Wisconsin right now with a bunch of other activists trying to save hundreds, thousands of dogs from imminent torture and death. The government has already admitted these dogs are facing felony animal abuse because of surgical mutilations without painkillers, conditions that are so nauseating that even government inspectors said they have difficulty breathing inside, and cages that are 2 feet by 4 feet. Cages that sometimes these animals live in for their entire lives. Two of the dogs we historically rescued from Ridglan had lived in that cage for 7+ years. Imagine living in a 2x4 metal cage for 7 years. That was Anna's and Lucy's life before we got them out. So we're going to be risking everything for these animals, and we have so many people who are brave, or compassionate, or courageous, willing to do whatever it takes to help these animals. We're calling for the authorities to help us as well, and they have a legal obligation to enforce the law and protect these dogs. We hope they're willing to execute the search warrant. We have a big demonstration planned, and we're going to ask them to help. But if the government doesn't help, if the government doesn't rescue the dogs, we will. And we'll do that no matter what it takes. But the thing that you can do, every single person watching this reel right now can do, is amplify the message. Share with everyone, save the dogs at IL, let people know what's happening to Ridglan dogs, because with the pressure we can place on the system, on the government, on the district attorney of Wisconsin, we can get every one of those dogs out.
All right. Once again, there is a live action underway. We are bringing it to you live. Right now, I'm going to go to Tiffany Brunelli, who is a former undercover law enforcement investigator. You've been following this case for a while. Let's talk a little bit about the background. This just didn't happen overnight. It was way back in 2017 that the person you just heard from, Wayne Hsiung, went into this facility and documented what was happening with some of the photographs and video that you're seeing, and took out 3 dogs. Initially, he was going to be put on trial, and really on the eve of his trial, all charges against him were dropped. But instead of just going away and being happy that he wasn't put on trial, Wayne Hsiung went back, mobilized the people in this community, Dane County, Wisconsin, to demand the rescue of these animals, and then went to court and actually was able to get a special prosecutor that then did an investigation and determined that, I'll just show you right here what they determined. They determined that there were serious problems at this facility, as alleged, and got this Ridglan Farms to agree to shut down its dog sale and breeding for sale operations in exchange for the state not prosecuting the alleged violations. Now, the good news is that ended, or will end, the mass breeding and sale of thousands of beagles for research. The problem with this is that there are something like 2,000 or maybe more beagles still there. What happens to those beagles? That is the issue. That's been the back and forth. What is it, Tiffany, that the activists would like to see happen to those beagles?
They'd like to get them into loving homes. The facility has until July before it completes the operation of selling the beagles out for research. So they're still allegedly selling the beagles. So they'd like to prevent, the rescuers want to get these dogs into loving homes and stop the craziness of sending these out to continue to sell these out for research. Cruel, archaic experiments that just aren't necessary now.
Yeah. And so what's happening is that there is essentially a tug of war, and there's a tug of war between the animal activists who would like to see all those beagles taken out and put in loving homes, and presumably the corporation, which is invited on anytime. We would love to dialogue with you. You are invited on to comment, that they want to do whatever they feel like doing with these beagles prior to the deadline, whether it's experimenting on themselves or sending them out to other facilities. And we understand that as part of the agreement that was reached, this is very, very, very crucial fine print. The company can still conduct research and breed their own dogs to use in research performed at Ridglan Farms. So that is the big issue there. It's the last sentence. The company can still conduct research and breed their own dogs to use in research at Ridglan Farms. So that's what the activists are upset about, because, Tiffany, in the past, when there's been other investigations in covering problems at a animal research facility, those dogs have been given away. And that is specifically with Vigo. In 2021, PETA did an investigation into a massive beagle breeding facility with 5,000 beagles confined to small barren kennels. And the company in Vigo pleaded guilty to neglecting dogs and faced a $35 million fine. And all those in Vigo beagles, 4,000 of them, were moved out and taken to homes. And that's what the activists here would like to see happen. Let's listen to Wayne describing what he says is happening to the dogs inside this facility.
This is Julie. And Julie was on the bottom row in a 2-foot by 4-foot metal cage, standing on wire her entire life. She'd lived there for about a year. In over a 2-hour time period, every single time we looked towards Julie, she was spinning exactly like this for 2 hours. All 3 of the dogs we rescued from Ridglan Farms, there's video footage of these dogs after we rescued them struggling to even walk. And this is one of them, Julie.
All right. So that's what Wayne Hsiung, who has devoted literally almost a decade of his life to this issue. Remember, it was 2017 when he initially went in and recorded these videos. And the spinning of the dogs is one of the key pieces of evidence that was presented to the court as an example of these dogs living horrific lives and being under incredible amounts of stress and suffering. So again, if you're just joining us, the breaking news is that there is an action in progress. We don't know exactly what it is, but I can tell you right now that any second, we just got word, we're going to have a live video from Wisconsin. Here's Chloe saying, everyone save the dogs. Okay, so there is an entire movement to save the dogs. People are saying, shut this place down. It's disgusting that this is happening. And we are bringing you live in progress. We got word that something was going down in Wisconsin live. We don't know exactly what it is. Somebody says rescue is not a crime, but we do know that it's breaking news, and it's going to be very dramatic when it actually comes down. This is, again, some of the video that Wayne Hsiung, who is the co-founder of Direct Action Everywhere, obtained when he went into this facility way back in 2017. They rescued 3 beagles, and one of them is named Julie. And then the authorities wanted to prosecute Wayne. On the eve of his trial, all charges were dropped against Wayne Hsiung. And instead of walking away and saying, wow, I'm so glad I didn't go to jail, he turned around and said, no, I am not going to let this issue go. He went back to Wisconsin and went into court. And I believe we can bring you, because Unchained TV was the live pool camera during an extraordinary hearing where Wayne Hsiung successfully argued for a special prosecutor to be appointed to investigate this facility. And that special prosecutor did investigate and did find problems. And as a result of that, this facility is no longer going to be selling dogs to laboratories for experimentation. The rub is that this facility can still do experiments on dogs at the facility. Now, I'm going to try to bring you the hearing that happened by sharing my screen and bringing you the hearing that occurred where Wayne Hsiung successfully argued in court, and Unchained TV was the pool camera. You can listen to this. This is the hearing where Wayne Hsiung, who is an attorney in his own right, argued that these animals are being abused. And this is what happened. And you can see the judge listening.
The dog.
And any second now, we're going to go live to Wisconsin.
Which is a result.
Okay.
Another visit to follow up on the non-compliances that they had found in June of 2024. And even while there's lots of public attention and concern about the conditions at Ridglan Farms, you see on page 8 of this exhibit that there still appear to be animals with foot injuries, including an animal that's limping, not bearing any weight on the front right leg. I'm sorry, this is page 8.
Okay, so there you go. That is just an example of what Wayne has done. Wayne Hsiung, the co-founder of Direct Action Everywhere and attorney himself. This has been a saga, Tiffany, and you've been following it. You were actually one of the panelists when we were the pool camera for that extraordinary historic hearing where a special prosecutor was appointed to investigate Ridglan Farms. The special prosecutor did investigate, did determine that there were problems, and basically it was a huge victory for Wayne Hsiung and the animal rights movement when the special prosecutor says, and you're looking at the decision right here, the report of the special prosecutor, Ridglan Farms agrees to shut down its dog sale and breeding for sale operations in exchange for the state not prosecuting the alleged violations. This will end the mass breeding and sale of thousands of beagles for research. The problem is the company can still, according to DXE and Wayne Hsiung and other animal groups, the company can still conduct research and breed their own dogs to use in research performed at Ridglan. So that is what, Tiffany, these activists who are engaged in this action right now are upset about. Your thoughts?
Yes, I mean, it was great news when Wayne turned the tables. His prosecution was dropped right at the last minute, and he was able to present his case, file his own case after and present that to a judge and be awarded, and was able to get a special prosecutor to investigate this. And as I understand it, the facility has agreed to close down the breeding operation where they sell the beagles all over the world for outdated experiments to universities. Unfortunately, the dogs are still languishing there, and they've made all kinds of petitions and hit all kinds of government agencies up to get these dogs out before before they're still allowed to sell the dogs for research until they're slated to close, until they've agreed to close in July. So
and
it's
again,
really,
they're not closing. They could stay open and do their own research. That's the kind of what the activists would call the loophole. And what the activists want are all the beagles who are at that facility to be released, just like the Vigo beagles were released. You saw a huge coverage of that Beagle Freedom Project, getting a lot of these beagles adopted. And so that's what Wayne Hsiung ultimately wants, correct?
yes, they want to get all the beagles out of there into loving homes now, sooner than later. And that's what they're hoping for. I mean, that's what they want. They want to get these beagles out. And Jane, I was just checking the weather in Madison, Wisconsin, where this facility is located, and it's really bad. They're expecting a big storm, potential blackouts. So it sounds really cold back there.
Well, we know there is some sort of action in progress. We're not there. I'm in Los Angeles. Tiffany is in Los Angeles, but we were told there's an action. We are a news organization, and so we go into action when there is an action to report live breaking news as it happens. I don't know exactly when we are going to get that live signal. And again, there is some sort of either a storm or extremely bad weather there. So we certainly hope that the live signal will happen any moment now. But meanwhile, we are bringing you, the history of this and the history of this breaking news that essentially is an almost decade-long saga, where essentially it was Wayne Hsiung who went in there back in 2017 and got this video. The video that you're looking at was obtained by Wayne Hsiung, who is a former co-founder of Direct Action Everywhere, one of the biggest animal rights groups in the world. He's also an attorney. He's also a former constitutional law professor. So he's not just somebody who, is doing something off the top of his head. This is very well thought out. You just saw a video of him testifying in court. And I guess you're looking down because you're getting some information there.
Yes, I just saw Wayne is also live now. And he said there's 100+ rescuers walking right into Ridglan Farms.
Oh, wow.
To rescue.
Here we go. Breaking news. We're going to go straight out to hi there. Tell us what's going on.
Hi, I'm live on scene at Ridglan Farms. Activists have entered the facility. I'm hearing activists that they have potentially breached in past the fence, potentially inside the buildings as well. There are a couple employees, it appears, that are on site. I think you can see one over in the field.
Yes. We can
Here,
hear
let me switch my camera over.
Yes.
So,
okay.
You can see off in the distance.
Yes, and you might want to make it horizontal. We're seeing it, but we're just seeing a little bit. Let's see if it flips.
Did it flip
There
now?
it is.
I apologize for my phone.
We could see it perfectly. So this is Ridglan Farms in Wisconsin, and the activists are inside now.
That is my understanding. I believe they have been able to enter.
Okay, and so what are those media trucks or what are
These,
trucks
I believe, are the trucks that the activists drove.
Got it. Well, tell us the backstory. We've been discussing the backstory here, but we are live in Wisconsin right now as a massive rescue operation. What you might call an open rescue is underway at a laboratory breeding facility that breeds thousands of beagles. And I know you do have a tripod there. Your signal is perfect, which is amazing. But if your hand gets tired, feel free to put it down. How cold is it there for all this to be happening?
So the weather has kind of held off, which is good. It's cold. We're predicted to get a pretty nasty snowstorm, potentially rain. But so far, the weather has held off better than I think anyone was expecting for the weekend.
How many people went into Ridglan Farms, is your understanding?
It looks like about 7 vans full of activists have entered the facility. So I believe that's close to 50 individuals or potentially more.
Are law enforcement there?
Not that I have seen, no law enforcement yet. I believe we've only spotted 2 employees that are here.
Now, I don't know how much you can tell us about the operation, but I understand there's different teams that take different levels of risk.
That is correct. So I believe there is a team that is entering the facility, taking the highest level of risk to rescue the dogs. And then I believe there are other individuals that are potentially going on site to support those activists. And then there is, I believe, a large group of individuals coming to support on public property.
And I know this had originally been scheduled for tomorrow. So people are asking, how long will this action be, for example?
That is a great question. I believe that it is going to be as many dogs as the activists can get out. We'll be here as long as that takes. And I think if the activists, will be here essentially as long as it takes to get as many dogs as they can.
Now, what about the company? Do they have security? How were the activists able to enter?
Yeah, that's a great question. So it appears that Ridglan has added potentially some security. These concrete blocks are new. And then it sounds like they may have added a few things around the premises, but we're not seeing individuals really on site. I'm seeing a little more traffic now that's happening, but it's uncertain kind of what additional security precautions they have taken.
So people are saying, let the dogs go. We're talking about thousands of dogs here, right?
Absolutely. So currently there was a inspection at the end of January by the USDA. So that is who regulates Ridglan's federal license. And at that time, there were still over 2,000 dogs in the facility. Despite that, Ridglan made an agreement with the special prosecutor at the end of October, or I believe September, to shut down their breeding operations in July. And so currently there are over 2,000 dogs just stuck on site. And it's quite devastating that, these dogs, the treatment that they have endured is the reason this facility is being shut down, and they're still there. Ridglan can still sell dogs until July, but their sales are also dramatically down. Like, these dogs are just being held for no good reason. It's awful.
And so what would you...
Jane, I'm going to stop you. I can hear many dogs starting to bark. I don't know if you can hear them in the background, but I can hear some things are changing. I believe I hear a security alarm that's also going off now.
Okay, very interesting. With noise cancellation these days, we can hear your voice perfectly, but not anything a couple of feet away. So please let us know what's happening. If you're just joining us, this is extraordinary. This is history in the making. A mass action going on live right now in Wisconsin at the scene of Ridglan Farms. We invite Ridglan Farms representatives on at any time. And basically, these activists, led by Wayne Hsiung, who's a former constitutional law professor, co-founder of Direct Action Everywhere, founder of the Simple Heart, and a leading animal rights activist, is demanding that these dogs that are inside these facilities that he is saying are being systematically abused.
I'm going to stop you. You've got an employee on site.
Okay. Yes, that is an employee arriving now. You're seeing this happen as we have no idea how long it's going to go on. Some people are saying, hey, heroes, thank you for all you do. And there are apparently different levels of activists, some that are staying outside, some that are going inside. Now, this truck that very well may belong to representative of the company or security for the company is approaching, but it's early in the morning. It's a Sunday morning. There is, I would assume, the element of surprise here as a mass animal rights action is in progress. Now, you may not see anything very extraordinary right now because they haven't started walking out with these dogs. We're talking thousands of dogs. We're talking, how many activists would you say went into the facility, Amy?
I believe at least 50 activists have arrived. We now have police on the scene responding as well. I see 2 police cars.
Oh, we're seeing
it.
Okay. 50 activists approximately inside. And this is going to get very interesting very quickly, people. If you're just joining us, this is a live action in progress. Animal activists are reportedly inside this massive breeding facility, trying to get about 2,000 dogs out. We have police arriving on the scene. I'm writing it down because it's happening as we speak. There we go. 50 dogs, 50 animal activists, thousands of dogs. So there you go. I'll put that up so we can see it. Again, if we can show you a little bit of video of the dogs themselves, you can see what we're talking about. Not necessarily these dogs, certainly not these dogs, because this video was taken in 2017, but dogs just like this, who are trapped inside these metal cages. And it's been the subject of a legal battle that has gone on now for almost a decade. And there was a big victory that animal activists achieved when Wayne Hsiung went to court and got a special prosecutor appointed. The special prosecutor reached an agreement with the company to stop exporting and selling these beagles, but they can still do the experiments on site. I don't know if you have your tripod with you. You're doing an incredible job, natural born reporter, but if you get tired, you can steady up by putting your tripod on. 2,000 dogs. Oh no, that's what people are saying. What are your thoughts about what's happening now?
Jane, I'm hearing they've breached at least another building.
Wow.
I think there are multiple buildings with entry.
How many buildings are there?
I believe there's at least 7 buildings, I think. Oh, and we've got a storm coming in. Can you hear the lightning and thunder?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is extremely dramatic stuff.
We've got an employee here, someone with Ridglan walking past.
Okay. Well, while you show us what's going on outside, what are your thoughts, Tiffany, as a former law enforcement investigator, as to what could unfold here? We don't know, certainly. Tiffany.
Yes, if they're alleging that these dogs are being criminally abused, so they have the right to go in and rescue these dogs if the authorities are not going to take action, what seems to be the case. So I'm very excited. History in the
Jane,
making.
I'm hearing that Ridglan has stated that they've entered the buildings. They're upset that the police are not moving faster.
Okay, interesting. So now you're showing us police cars, right? I mean, I'm seeing these vehicles, but I'm not sure if they're police or private security.
These are police cars. So we have 3 cars from Mount Horeb. This is also really interesting because in the past, Mount Horeb has said they do not respond to Ridglan Farms. Only Dane County does. I might be misunderstanding that. But my understanding is this is kind of unprecedented for Mount Horeb police to be here.
And did they drive away or did they drive into the facility?
They're driving into the facility.
Okay, so that's the facility entrance right there.
Correct.
Kind of interesting that, is that another police of law enforcement?
That's another police. Yep, all 3 from Mount Horeb.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there's a mass action going on inside. If you're just joining us, this is a breaking news. Led by famed animal rights activist and attorney Wayne Hsiung. Approximately 50 animal rights activists have entered a massive facility that breeds beagles for laboratory investigation, experimentation, and they're trying to get those beagles out. There's about 2,000 at least beagles in there, according to published reports. Certainly, I don't know for sure how many are in there. Yeah. Just try to steady up. Your video's a little shaky.
I apologize, Jane. I'm driving an umbrella. It's raining pretty hard. I'm going to turn myself off for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So there you go. Wow. Pretty dramatic stuff. I would like to, she's going to come right back, but I want to get your reaction to this, Tiffany.
I'm so nervous for these heroes that are risking so much to go in and rescue these dogs. I'm just praying that they're able to get some of the dogs out. And save them from this criminal animal abuse,
There you
alleged
see,
criminal animal abuse.
there you see the spinning, which is a sign, and these dogs are barking. Now, one of the things that came out in the hearings, whistleblowers testified that there were surgeries performed on these beagles, some of them, without anesthesia.
Jane, I'm gonna
And
stop
by
you. We've
a
got a massive
non-veterinarian.
thunderstorm.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back outside. What happened?
Jane, there's a massive thunderstorm happening right now, and we've got, struggling with the camera a little bit. There, can you see off in the distance? There is a car driving across the property. I believe this car is likely, is likely
Yes.
trying to intercept.
Oh, interesting. Yes. Well, this is happening now. This is breaking news happening as we speak. How are they going to get these dogs out? Do they have vehicles nearby?
They have vehicles up here, I believe,
Yeah.
on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And then I believe that the activists will be carrying the dogs out, is my best guess, given that they walked in.
So they're going to take the dogs, open the cages, take the dogs. That's quite a bit of a walk. They chose not to drive in there. Did they drive? Any of the activists drive in?
All of the activists parked here, to my best understanding. Given, the roads, I don't think they would even be able to drive up to the property. The gate was closed. We now, Jane, are getting hail. I'm gonna jump off for just a minute to grab a tripod. I'll be right back on.
Okay, thank you. We are live in Wisconsin. Amazing reporting from Amy. What are your thoughts, Tiffany?
I'm so nervous, Jane, just sitting here in my warm house, and I'm so nervous and worried for them and for the pups, and hoping that they can get some out and that the activists are safe. They're risking so much to go in and attempt to rescue these dogs. So I'm very nervous.
Yeah, this is happening as we speak. In 2 seconds or so, she's basically getting a tripod. We're going to go back live to Wisconsin, and I would like to play what Wayne Hsiung, if for those joining us, Wayne Hsiung, who is the leader of this, and that black dot means she's basically putting a tripod up because she's got an umbrella. She can't do it all. We're going to go back live, but let's listen to what Wayne Hsiung said just a little while ago about this mass action.
I'm in Wisconsin right now with a bunch of other activists trying to save hundreds, thousands of dogs from imminent torture and death. The government has already admitted these dogs are facing felony animal abuse because of surgical mutilations without painkillers, conditions that are so nauseating that even government inspectors said they have difficulty breathing inside, and cages that are 2 feet by 4 feet, cages that sometimes these animals live in for their entire lives. 2 of the dogs we historically rescued from Ridglan had lived in that cage for 7+ years. Imagine living in a 2x4 metal cage for 7 years. That was Anna's and Lucy's life before we got them out. So we're going to be risking everything for these animals, and we have so many people who are brave, who are compassionate, who are courageous, willing to do whatever it takes to help these animals. We're calling for the authorities to help us as well, and they have a legal obligation to enforce the law and protect these dogs. We hope they're willing to execute the search warrant. We have a big demonstration planned, and we're going to ask them to help. But if the government doesn't help, if the government doesn't rescue the dogs, we will. And we'll do that no matter what it takes. But the thing that you can do, every single person watching this reel right now can do, is amplify the message. Share with everyone, save the dogs at IO, let people know what's happening to Ridglan dogs, because with the pressure we can place on the system, on the government, on the district attorney of Wisconsin, we can get every one of those dogs out.
And I want to show you a live guess of what we're talking about, who we're talking about. This is my Beagle rescue. This is Wednesday. I'm going to put the banner down for a second. And she is a rescue off the streets, not from a laboratory, but she's a Beagle mix.
Jen, I think we got dogs. Hang on.
Okay. Oh, wow. Hold on. We got dogs. All right. Let's see. We're back live in Wisconsin. 50 animal activists reportedly inside the dog breeding facility. Some of them are coming out. You see the police are there. What do you know, Amy?
Someone's being arrested. Oh no.
Okay,
Sorry,
good.
that is misinformation. Someone is being moved. We have dogs though. We have dogs.
Wow.
I think.
Dogs are coming out. Dogs are coming out of that facility. This is extraordinary. You're watching it live. We can't really tell you what's happening because your guess is as good as mine. It's in Wisconsin live. There's a whole bunch of activists. You can see, wow, there they are. There they
I
are.
see a
coming out of
dog.
Ridglan.
Multiple dogs.
Tell us where crates are. You gotta tell us where crates are.
I'm not. That's not me.
Okay, what? Do you know where those crates?
They're the Beagles. They're the Beagles. You
Where's the
just
key
saw
to the
them.
van?
They're the
I
Beagles.
found 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 dogs at least. I think there's more.
Wow, look at that. These are animal activists who went into Ridglan Farms. You are watching animal rights history in action, mass animal rights action in progress. Look at that beagle. Look at that beagle being rescued. Look at that beagle.
Finally free.
Finally free. Oh my gosh. This is absolutely extraordinary. You are watching this breaking news live as it happens. We are live in Wisconsin.
Where's the baby go?
Absolutely amazing.
I'm at a loss for words. The first time ever.
Wow.
It's an amazing moment in time. It's bad enough.
Kid, I've never seen anything like this before.
Amazing.
Look at all of these dogs.
It's
They
a
got
little
the
bit.
first
Oh, is that the van taking the
That's
dogs
the van
away?
with dogs.
The van with the dogs took off?
We have another round of dogs coming out of the facility now.
Unbelievable.
In a hailstorm, might I add.
I understand, and when you're moving very quickly, it gets a little blurry. So
I
know you
apologize,
wanna-
Jane. There's so much rain on the lens.
Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. Wow, just absolutely amazing. It is never, I've never seen anything like this. I've heard about them. I've covered them the day after. This is pretty much summing up the reaction. Look at these beagles being rescued from a laboratory breeding facility. You are watching it here live on Unchained TV. This is unbelievable. Absolutely extraordinary. A rescue in action. As somebody said, this is better than an action movie. Tears of happiness, somebody else is saying. Yay, awesome. Let's just watch for a second. Oh, look at that. Look at that.
All of these dogs.
Amazing. Wow. Uh-oh. We just lost her for a second. Oh, here
I got it back on.
Yeah. Wow. A lot of dogs. How many dogs would you estimate?
I'm going to guess at least 30. We've got more police responding.
And the police are sort of standing back. It doesn't appear that they are taking any aggressive action.
No, it looked like a Ridglan employee slashed tires with one of the vans or someone. I don't think it was police. But other than that, and we have another van, I think, getting ready to leave. There are, this doesn't look good.
There are the beagles going into the van right now. Check this out. Oh, that's a police officer taking one of the beagles.
Get this on film.
The law.
Got it. We're begging you.
Helping them. You're supposed to be helping the hostages. You're the problem. Are you going to look at kids in the eyes? How cool is it? What is wrong with you? you! Be the hostage!
Activists are begging police not to return that beagle to the laboratory breeding facility.
Trina's proud of you. Give him a crack to these fleas. What is wrong with you? Don't you have a heart? You don't have a You'll make some tasty bacon, right? I'll do some tasty bacon.
Look at how scared she is! Sir, please! She's grinning for her life! Allow him to go
How could you do this? How could you do this? Look at him, he doesn't want to go. Leave him alone. You wonder why people hate the police.
That dog stuff is on your head!
You're so helping victims. These are hostages being held against their will.
Shame on you!
Here's what we're having over here. I'm gonna go over here now.
All right, so law enforcement grabbed one beagle at least, but there's plenty of other beagles that are getting out, getting into
And activists are going back for more, Jade.
The activists are going back for more.
Yeah, can you see them?
Yes, I can see them. This is extraordinary. You'd say about 30 beagles were successfully rescued.
I believe at least.
Wow. And if you see the people in white, those are the team that goes in. So they're dressed in outfits that will prevent any kind of contamination. And apparently they're going back in to rescue more. They've rescued 30 so far. We are live in Wisconsin.
Oh, look, Jane, activists are stopping a Ridglan employee.
Whoa. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Okay, Ridglan employee is
Look at this brave
activist,
activist, Jane, stopping the Ridglan employee.
So dramatic, so dramatic. And this is all happening live in Wisconsin at a facility that breeds beagles for laboratory investigation, experimentation. And these activists say it's the 21st century. We do not need to torture beagles in labs anymore. There's organs on a chicken. It looks, is that, he's leaving? That employee is leaving? Wow. Honestly, I've never seen anything like this. What van is that? Tell us what's happening.
Out of the way! This is us! This is us!
Blocking the rescue van.
What's happening?
Another
Amy,
van is blocked, Jane.
Tell us what's happening.
My team!
Greyhound here. Greyhound here. This one I called out as a health record. Carrier.
Amy, bring us up to date.
Here.
What's happening? Amy, what's happening?
The police are advising that everyone here will be arrested.
Okay. That brown van that took off, was that a van with beagles in it?
Sorry, Jane, what's that?
The brown van that just took off, did that have beagles in it?
It did. It absolutely had beagles in it.
So at least
Jane,
two
there's
vans.
a large van here that I believe is a police vehicle. Can we get this crate?
So it appears that law enforcement got one beagle, but we don't know whether they're returning that beagle to Ridglan Farms or whether they're taking that beagle in as evidence to their sheriff's headquarters.
I don't know what happened to the Beagle, unfortunately.
It was put in a law enforcement vehicle and driven away. So you had told me that they're going back for more. Are they still going back for more, or
That is a good question. I don't see everyone here yet. I don't think everyone's here yet. A vehicle is entering Ridgeland.
Are living on all day long. These puppies, we saw puppies on wire caging that we know that they've already been told they're not supposed to have because it causes injuries to their feet. They're continuing the cruelty that they're not supposed to be doing.
Can we get a little bit more from Carla?
Carla, are you available for comment?
Yeah, not right now.
Not right now.
We gotta figure out what we're doing.
Okay.
We gotta get it like that. I mean, they haven't
That
said
was
it's
Carla Cabral, one of the lead actors.
for anyone else. I think we need to.
All right. Well, what's going to happen? What's happening now? If you could tell
Jane, it
us,
looks like
Amy.
we've got a van down.
What?
We've got a van down.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Wait.
All right. We are live.
There's dogs in this van, Jane.
Oh no. So there's dogs in this van, and the van is being blocked on one side. Is that it?
It's being blocked and the tires are slashed.
Oh, and you said that somebody from the company had slashed the tires.
That is my understanding. I do not believe this was police.
All right. We don't know that. We don't know who slashed the tires. It could be anybody. And we invite the company on anytime. Oh boy. This is really, it's a nail biter because there's animals in that van and now the tires are slashed. Do you know if there's animals in that van?
There's animals in that van, Jane.
Oh no.
It's not good.
Oh, no. That's not good. Oh dear. So that vehicle driving away is, we don't know. Okay, here's the police coming out or some kind of security vehicle coming out. So because the tires are slashed, that vehicle cannot drive on its rims, I suppose.
That is correct, Jane.
Yeah. Oh man. This is very agonizing. What are your thoughts, Tiffany, while we watch this?
Oh, I'm so, it's just so, yeah, it's so disappointing that these dogs were so close to freedom and now they slash the tires so the van can't move with the dog. It's very disappointing.
I don't know my society.
Okay, so there are dogs in that van.
Some of
You
these
saw
officers
that some dogs did get out. Some dogs were driven away, but a vehicle, a white van with dogs inside, the tires have been slashed, and the vehicle is essentially surrounded by law enforcement. You're seeing this here. It looks like they blocked the entrance, blocked the exit for this white vehicle containing dogs. And we don't know what's going to happen to those dogs, but you can see that law enforcement is there, and doesn't look good for those dogs getting out at this moment in time, but you never know. You don't know.
I don't know, Jane.
Jeez.
Okay.
Okay.
Follow them? No, get the dogs out of the fucking van and put them in my back seat.
Okay, so they're trying to move the dogs apparently from the van into the car. And so you could pack a whole bunch of dogs in a car. I've had 6 dogs in my car at one point, and get these. And that's what the activists are trying to do, is get the dogs out. Oh, here we go. There's a dog going into.
Video this.
All right, go.
Hey,
Take your time.
Take your time.
Get the dogs out, and they're trying to get the dogs out and into that car and then out.
I got you.
This is so dramatic. Unbelievable.
Circle up. Guys, circle up.
All right, there's at least 2 dogs in that vehicle leaving.
2
So
dogs
there
are
you go.
leaving.
The dogs are leaving. Do we know how many more dogs are still in that white van?
I don't know. I can try to find out.
Yeah. You are watching this live. This is happening live. a beagle rescue in action in Wisconsin at the site of a massive breeding facility that breeds beagles for laboratory investigation. This facility has agreed to, as part of an agreement with prosecutors who determined that they were committing violations, they've agreed to stop selling the beagles, but there's reportedly a couple of thousand beagles still in there.
Are you available for
These
comment, Dean?
activists
Yeah.
don't want these beagles
Jane, Dean's
sold.
available for comment.
Yes,
All right.
Dean, tell us what's happening.
All right, folks. We're on live stream right now, okay? With Jane Unchained. Jane, is that you?
Unchained TV, yes.
Yes.
Hi, Jane. Thank you.
Yay.
So we have just rescued some dogs. As far as I know, dogs have been loaded into vans, various vehicles. They're on their way. I don't know where they're going, but as far as I know, they're going to safety. Police may try to be intercepting them, but as far as we know, dogs are in cars, they're in motion. We here are staying. We do not know if we were going to leave this facility or if we're going to stay. My best guess is we may be arrested here. These folks all, to my understanding, are willing to be arrested. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. These folks have all assisted in the Ridglan dog rescue today. We rescued, does anyone know how many dogs we rescued?
No.
We don't.
Maybe 20 or 15.
Yeah, so we have numbers, maybe 20 to 15.
What was happening at Ridglan?
And so things moved quickly. We were pretty good in moving information. We moved as a team. It was easy to breach the gates, the fence, pretty quickly. Once we entered, many of our teams realized that the doors were harder to access than we realized. We believe that they welded the doors shut in preparation for us. We realized that there was no security or police meaningfully here to intercept us. So we believe that we successfully surprised them. They did not know we were coming. They didn't know we were coming today. They didn't know we were coming this morning, which means that we were able to rescue the dogs and move in a relatively calm and organized formation. We have multiple teams here. Team leads, raise your hand. Okay, team leads, Alexandra, do you want to speak?
I just want to say that if we're staying here, we're going to get arrested. So we need to be prepared for that. Yeah. Okay. There are all the dogs got out. So, right? Yeah. But there are still dogs in there. So, thousands are in there. So we're going to stay here because our job is not done. And until the cops release us. Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And if anybody needs anything, come talk to Carla, me, Dean, Paul. Okay?
Alexandra, say that again. What are we doing?
We're going to stay here until we get arrested because there are still thousands of dogs at Ridglan facility. Okay? I don't like to call it a farm. What? It's a facility. It's a factory. Animal factory.
So, Alexandra, I'm going to nominate you for team lead for all of us. Does that sound good?
Yes, I will be teammate. And Carla, because we work together a lot, is going to be my co-lead. Okay. And Dean, you'll work with us.
Yeah. Follow you, co-lead. Videographers, stay close.
The dog's out.
We got all the dogs out that we had. Now it's just up to us. We can get them.
Where are they now?
You don't want to know.
Definitely arrest. Definitely arrest.
So important that we understand and let everybody know that the county knows. They know that they have said, we have a judicial order, we have paperwork that shows that they have deemed that this place is performing criminal animal cruelty, felony. It is on here, felony animal cruelty, yet they allowed them to continue reading, experimenting. What we saw in there, the filth, the police cowering. They needed to be get out. We got some of them out, but as Alexander said, there are so many more in there. So everybody who's watching, anybody who sees this, contact Dane County. Let them know that you know what is going on and that they are not doing their jobs, that they are allowing this cruelty to continue, and we are not going to abide that. We're here until they make
Jane, you heard that? The activists plan to stay until they are being arrested.
We've got questions here. Has anyone been arrested yet?
Not that I have seen. My understanding, I'm hearing that a couple vans have been detained. I'm going to actually bring you a little closer to Dean.
Point them. Okay. So video and documents are arrest. Does that understand?
Yes, and those of you with phones also feel free to capture video. Upload it to Signal somewhere.
I have my phone. I handed somebody a red phone. Well, I want a video.
I know.
Hey, everybody.
Paul is right.
No idea what either of you would look like. No. Reminder to come close. My voice is getting tired. Please come close. I cannot continue to yell.
No, I mean, can you take care of an SD card?
What's that?
SD card,
Oh,
you need to hand it over to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you can replace that one if you can.
Come on, close. Closer, closer. You just, okay, so.
Nisha.
Wait.
Hi. Hello.
Wait. Hello.
Hi. Okay, everyone coming close. If you can help, if you're a co-leader, you have a role, please raise your hand. Raise your hand. Everyone look around to the people with their hands raised. You can go to them for help, okay? Follow their instructions, all right? My guess is we're gonna be here.
We are gonna go over there.
Jane, can you hear her? Or would you like narration?
Yes, well, you got to get a little closer. It's a
Yeah,
little
I'll go back
muffled.
over. Okay.
That will be Marino's partner. He needs that SD card.
What's it?
The SD card, Marino's partner.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, and before you go on, so we need to change your booty again. Yeah.
Okay, great. I have some too.
Say that again. Okay. Are we ready? We should take the booties off now, the dirty ones here.
Yeah.
Just the beauty.
But don't. No.
Does anyone have the ability to be a loud voice? Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. Take your boots off, everybody.
Anybody need help?
Can you tell us a little bit, Amy, what's happening?
Yeah, absolutely, Jane. There's currently a lot of waiting. I think it appears there's probably as many dogs that were able to get out have been already out. And then I think folks are mostly just waiting to see what law enforcement does. We do have some media outlets starting to show up. I see Brian Fulton from Fox. I believe I see a local Madison station as well. And actually, Jane, I've got UW-Madison professor here who'd be willing to have comment.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Here I am with.
I'm Christina Konjorsky. I'm a professor and a data scientist at UW-Madison. And I don't know how much you want to hear, but I can say that I learned about Ridglan Farms about 6 weeks ago. And what I learned is that this is a facility that is performing hundreds of surgeries, violating hundreds of animal welfare laws. Right? Surgeries that are performed
Alexandra.
without anesthesia, without pain relief, by staff that's untrained in any kind of surgical veterinary care. This is not
Fine trash.
kind of conjecture. This is in the public record, right? This is in the special prosecutor's report. So I think that anybody that knows about this would be opposed to this on ethical grounds. But as I mentioned, I'm a data scientist, so I'm opposed to this also on scientific grounds because everybody knows, scientists know if animals are not well treated, the results that come from them are not reliable, right? That's, are we going or should I keep talking?
Keep going.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
we hear
I'm saying
you.
it's not conjecture. You know, scientists, even those who do animal experiments with the hope of coming up with cures or better treatments, they well know, especially they know that if animals are not well treated, the results from their work.
Oh, Jane and
not
Christina, I'm going to
reliable.
interrupt you really quick because we have, thank you, that was wonderful. Jane,
Thank you.
we've got folks going back on site. I think they're going for more.
Oh, okay. So that's amazing. The activists are going back into Ridgeland. We see now that local news has arrived, at least one local news station, as word spreads. And you see that those who are in the white outfits, those are to make sure that they are sanitized and that none of the animals are hurt. They're going back into Ridglan Farms to rescue more beagles. We understand approximately 15 to 20 beagles have been rescued. They left in vans and cars. One van had its tires slashed. 2 beagles were transferred out of that van into a private car and left. We do not know if the vans and cars carrying beagles were intercepted, however, after they left camera range. We do not know if law enforcement intercepted those vehicles, but it's very possible that those beagles, those rescued beagles, 15 to 20 of them reportedly are headed to homes where they get to live out their best lives as the activists march back into Ridglan Farms to rescue more animals. And let's review and recap the history here. It was in 2017 that Wayne Hsiung went in to this facility, documented what was happening, and took a couple of beagles out. He was going to be prosecuted. They dropped the charges, and then he went back into court. Go ahead.
Can you take the live stream and I will get the poncho?
Okay, we've got a transfer going on here from one. Great job, Amy. Somebody else is going to possibly take over the live stream. Who are we dealing with now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. We are live in Wisconsin, outside Ridglan Farms, as more activists go inside the facility to rescue more beagles. Tell us a little bit about what you know and who you are, because we don't know who the camera's been handed to.
Yeah. I'm not going to say who I am at the moment, but there are people. Yeah, there are people. The original group went in and now they're headed. They've bravely gone back over. They're going to go back in and see if they can rescue any others who are inside. Sorry, but we're here to support them. So we're going to stay out here and support them.
Okay, you could talk to some of the people who are there. If you just get very close to them and be steady. I don't know if you're on a tripod or not, but when you talk to them, you can put the tripod down and your camera is steady, not shaky, and just ask somebody. Talk to anybody who wants to talk, or you could tell
Hey,
us.
Jane, there's a handoff. You want to talk to an activist?
Yeah, why not? While we're waiting.
Okay.
It's very interesting. This has been going on about an hour or more now, and we saw about 15, 20 beagles get out. We don't know how far they got in vans and a car.
I think everyone is starting to leave. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm just going to follow them, Jane.
Yes, let's follow them. These are activists who did not commit. Tell us about the teams and the level of commitment.
Yeah, so there's some new folks arriving on scene who I did not see earlier. So I do see some, I'm a Wisconsin resident, so I see some other Wisconsin residents here. I'm going to walk down a little bit. It looks like there's a lot more folks who arrive, but they've been blocked off. So I think there's cars this way.
Okay, so what is that?
I'm just going to see what's going on over here.
What's that big truck?
I assume this is what the police would like to use to arrest folks. I'm not quite sure though. That is my guess. Or this might be actually a Ridglan truck potentially. I'm not sure. This is not a truck I recognize. I was here. A private RV, not for hire.
Maybe to block the roads?
I think these might be. Oh, Jane, I bet these are local residents here to support Ridglan by blocking the road. We have more police arriving on scene. We've got cars
They're
lined up.
supporting Ridglan?
I think this is the first Dane County sheriff we have. I think the rest have done not horrid. We do have a lot of cars down over here.
Okay. So this is a very big vehicle.
Comment?
Oh yeah, I am.
Paul's available for comment.
Oh,
Yeah, hello.
yes. Hi. Tell us,
Hey.
what are your thoughts, your feelings?
Hey Jane, I can't hear you too well, but I know that a bunch of activists have been arrested, and some more are going back onto the facility to try to get arrested. They got a lot of dogs out, but I heard that a couple of vans with dogs have been detained by police. But I think that there are some other dogs still that got out that have not been detained yet. I can't confirm that yet. I'm just hoping that's the case. But really, we want to get all these dogs out. So these people are going to get arrested again. And when they do that, it's going to put more pressure on the system, draw more attention to the issue, and eventually this is going to hopefully cause this place to just close down. So I'm very grateful for everybody who's helped make this happen and who's going to risk arrest now to amplify our chances. And we're just hoping for the best. But currently the police have pretty much shut the things down. So we're kind of at the mercy of them at the moment, but we're going to do our best.
My question is, if police confiscate the dogs, do you think they'll return them to Ridglan or keep them separately in some kind of holding facility as evidence? I mean, when there is any kind of a criminal investigation and you find evidence, you don't return it, you hold it.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a great idea. I hope that happens. It would be great if the police would just hold on to the dogs and find good forever homes for them, which they might do, for the point you made. I hope that's the case. We can only hope. So it's definitely good for people to call the police station and say, hey, any dogs that you confiscate back, please, get them to good adopted homes. Like we have a lot lined up to 100 who are willing to take dogs. So tell these police that these dogs have homes waiting for them, so the police can either send them back to be experimented on by universities or send them to their forever homes.
And let me ask you, people are asking, was Wayne arrested?
Yeah, I think Wayne was the first person arrested. I saw in his live stream that he was detained and arrested.
Jane, I'm hearing 30 have been detained about potentially. I'm kind of hearing through the grapevine.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Okay. Jay, I'm going to walk around a little bit.
There's somebody named Anna who wants to join. If you're going to join, you got to show your camera. Otherwise, I'm going to remove you from the studio. So please either activate your camera or I'm going to have to remove you from the studio when you activate your camera, Anna.
Jane, I think you can remove Anna.
What?
I'm not sure who that is.
Okay, well, I'm removing them.
Okay.
All right, so here we are. Let's go back. Again, you're watching Extraordinary History in Progress. This is an amazing...
You've got some supporters here, Jane?
What?
Supporters over here.
Yeah, and we saw Alexandra Paul. She is a famous actress. She was a star of Baywatch. You may remember her from that TV show. She's also a very, very longtime animal rights activist. She's in there. She has been participating in this as one of the leaders and organizers. And it's not her first time. Actually, we have video of Alexandra Paul previously. Here she is in an open rescue in California where she and a co-defendant rescued chickens. And this was several years ago. And she was put on trial and she was acquitted. And so she has really, really put herself out there. This is old video of Alexandra Paul, the former Baywatch actress, in an open rescue in California. She was put on trial and acquitted. And now she is back again here in Wisconsin, involved in this rescue. People are saying you are amazing. We are with you. There's a lot of support here on social media for these people. We know that law enforcement at least grabbed one Beagle on camera as we were watching, and apparently some of the vehicles that took off might have been intercepted, and law enforcement might have basically stopped those vehicles that were trying to rescue the animals. So we don't know, but we understand that about 15 to 20 beagles were taken out of Ridglan Farms. There was one very dramatic scene where law enforcement grabbed a beagle from the activists and put the beagle in their law enforcement vehicle, and everybody
Jane,
was
we've got to believe original employee or neighbor walking out now. Believe this might be original employee, potentially a neighbor.
okay. Yeah, and we don't want to focus in on people without knowing, who they are. For all we know, that's a guy taking his morning walk, and
Someone
we
is
don't know
now
who
being
he is.
arrested.
Oh, say that again.
Someone is now being arrested.
Okay, you want to give us a closer look there?
As close as I can get on public property.
Okay, very interesting. You might try, let's see if you can zoom in. Just zoom in the way you would any other time. I don't know if that works on StreamYard.
I don't think it works on streaming.
Okay. All right. So we're going to go maybe around. Stay safe. We don't want to put you at any risk. So obviously you are a reporter here doing an incredible job, and we want to thank you. We would not be able to report this if it weren't for Amy at the scene bringing us the very latest. So there you see two law enforcement vehicles. There's an activist in white. The activists who went into the facility are wearing, for the most part, white outfits. And so those are the ones that were directly involved in the rescue. One of them is being arrested right now. You actually had a better angle before.
Yeah, I'm going to walk over there.
Yeah, but you're doing a great job. We know that Wayne Hsiung, the leader of this operation, was arrested, according to Paul Picklesheimer, who's another leader. And yes, as Julie is pointing out, they have fosters for all of them. Let them go. And Tina is praying they have a heart and let these dogs go to homes. So it's just.
I'm going to be so.
It's
you want
just.
to Yes.
There you go. So we have one of the activists in that van. What you're looking at here is live. It's happening live in Wisconsin. This is an action to rescue beagles. And just to give you a little bit of history while we're waiting here, it's not like this came out of the blue. It was back in 2017 that Wayne Hsiung, who was a constitutional law professor and an attorney in general, went in to the facility, documented the conditions, took out some of the beagles, a couple of them, one named Julie. They were going to prosecute him. They decided to drop the charges. And instead of just walking away, Wayne Hsiung mobilized the community. This is Dane for Dogs, to fight this facility and end animal experimentation in the 20th century, saying, why do we need to do this? We have organs on a chip. We have AI. We have all sorts of ways of conducting experiments without torturing thousands of animals. A special prosecutor was appointed, and the victory was that this farm has agreed to shut down its dog sale and breeding operation, breeding for sale, in exchange for not being prosecuted for alleged violations, like allowing non-veterinarians to perform surgeries on these dogs without anesthesia. That's the key allegation that came up at the hearing. Go ahead. But the thing that they're upset about is there's about 2,000 at least, maybe 2,000 to 3,000, we don't know, dogs on site. What happens to those dogs? They would like to see all those dogs transferred to loving homes that are ready to take them. Tiffany?
Yes.
Jane, I'm going to go to Paul. Sorry, Tiffany.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying. What's up?
Just Jane Unchained.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Keep going.
I'm just saying,
Unchained TV.
I think you're all fine here, But if anyone is very afraid of any
Careful,
legal
they're
risk at all, you can
Careful.
go. So there's no chance you get arrested.
Did not stop.
Get out. This truck is backing up without regard for safety.
Get out of front.
This truck is backing up without any regard for safety.
I don't know what this truck is, but it's.
I don't know either, Jane. It says it's a private RV. I think the police may have contracted with this RV is my best guess.
Oh, to arrest people and put them all in there?
That's my understanding. I believe currently many of the activists are still on site behind this fence being arrested, and then I anticipate they're going to bring them all out here to bring them down to Dane County.
And you're doing an incredible job. I just remind you that due to the signal, if you could stay steady or put it on a tripod. Yeah, I know how it is. But you're doing a great job. Just try not to move too quickly. And this is extraordinary. We want to thank you for your hard work out there in the field. It's very cold. It's stormy. You know, she's making it look easy, but it's not easy. This is very, very difficult to go live and keep people up to date. But this is history in the making. I think this will go down in animal rights history. And people are saying, call the police. Tiffany, you were going to say that there is a number.
Yes, I see I'm following the local feed there for the rescue, and there's a number 608 266 4948.
Okay, 608-266-4948.
Yes, and that's for the police station to ask that the dogs be not sent back to the facility and put up for adoption.
Was that?
Do you know where my folder went?
Sorry, Paul White?
My folder? Where'd it go?
I have no idea.
Okay, no worries.
Okay, so there it is, 608-266-4948. You're being urged to call the police, everybody watching, and ask that the dogs be put up for adoption, not returned to this facility. And we invite Ridglan Farms on any time. To comment. So we invite Ridglan on anytime to comment. Meanwhile, activists are saying call the number and ask police to put the dogs that they have confiscated up for adoption, not return them to Ridglan. Remember, it's been alleged in open court by a whistleblower that at this facility, dogs were operated on without anesthesia by non-veterinarians. Again, it was alleged in a court proceeding that dogs are have been operated on at this facility without anesthesia by non-veterinarians. That is why, and I'll just put it up very quickly, the special prosecutor came to an agreement with Ridglan Farms to shut down its dog sales and breeding for sale operations in exchange for not being prosecuted for the alleged violations. This will end the mass breeding and sale of thousands of beagles for research. However, you can see the company can still conduct research and breed their own dogs to use in research performed at Ridglan. That's what the activists are upset about. They're saying it came out in open court. People testified that there were these operations going on, something called cherry eye, where they operate in a dog's eye, and the dogs were writhing in pain without anesthesia.
Hey, Jane.
Yes.
I'm going to leave you with Christina for a little bit. I got some media interviews, so I'm going to leave you here if that's
Perfect.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
All right. So, Christina, just bring us up to date from your perspective. What is going on? We see now that there is news media there.
Yes, for sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I can tell you there's been a lot of movement. So we've seen at least another 8, maybe 10 police officers that have gone into Ridgland. There were a couple of semis. You see one backing up right here. There were 2 semis parked on the street blocking traffic. They're now moving. I'm not sure if that's a good sign, but it is something new that's going on here. As for us on the ground, holding the fort down on the public area, people are hopeful, optimistic, and also happy at least to get the message out that Ridglan needs to be shut down. Whether you're opposed on ethical grounds, legal grounds, or scientific grounds, this place should not keep operating.
And thank you. You're doing a great job. We just urge you to keep that camera steady or put it on a tripod because the more you swing it around, the blurrier it gets. So we
okay, perfect. Yeah, thanks.
Yes.
I thought you wanted a view walking around.
Well,
I
yeah,
will
we
keep
do,
it.
but it has to be slow and
Got
you know,
you.
measured. Otherwise, it kind of
Got
gets
you.
blurry. But we can
All
see
right.
it very, very well now.
Perfect.
Now, my understanding is that there were more activists who wanted to come to the site, but they're being blocked. In other words, what we're seeing here, we're outside Ridglan Farms in Wisconsin. There are activists who have headed in. We saw them go over the hill in their white sanitary outfits to rescue more beagles. News media has finally arrived. And these folks who are out here are pretty much supporters. But we don't want to generally characterize anybody because we don't know. There could be some people who are standing around who are local residents who are not supporters. But these are people who are watching the action. Let's put it that way. We know that we believe that Wayne Hsiung, the leader of this entire operation, has been arrested, as well as some others. We know that at least one beagle has been confiscated. We saw it live as sheriff's officers took the beagle from activists, and the activists were pleading and begging for them to not take that beagle. We don't know if that beagle is going to be returned to Ridglan or if the beagle is, as I've said, have covered a lot of criminal cases. When law enforcement collects evidence, they keep the evidence at their facility. They don't just return the evidence to where they picked it up from. So there's a good possibility that maybe these dogs will be put in some kind of quarantine, hopefully with better conditions than being in a cage inside the breeding facility. And now activists are urging everyone to call this number and ask police, put the dogs up for adoption. We're talking about somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 dogs, according to published reports, but it could be more or less than that. We do not know. This is happening live in Wisconsin. You are watching Animal Rights History in action. So Rachel says she called and gave name and number. Please text back and then tell us what they said or what your experience is. Wayne was arrested first, then his cameraman. Activists are calling and telling police. Police are taking the names and numbers, so keep calling. All right. And I guess this is the ultimate comment. Shut it down. Shut it down. We are in a waiting game right now, but you can see law enforcement and mainstream media has finally shown up. If the window is open, go over there and see if the driver's wearing a uniform. Okay, somebody called. Everybody called.
Okay, what time? They're going there right now. They're going there right now. It says, obviously, you're in the middle of the situation. And it's interfering with everything. Right. It can be on like county roads and stuff like that. It just can't be right here. Just out of your way.
Can you give us a summary?
That occurred here, like, you have to clear this road. Right. Well, you can tell us not to be right here, but you can't tell us not to be. I tell you, that's where I'll explain the right thing. Right. We can be on the county road on the side though. We're dealing with stuff. If it's like, we're that vehicle, we're dealing with stuff there. So like, you're in the middle of everything we're dealing with, so I have to clear it out. Okay. Anybody just not involved in the. I got you. It's just easier for us if we know where we can be, you know, or I would suggest down there, follow the line of that car. So you can see this is.
You can be on public property, sir, as a journalist.
Right now, you're wasting my time because I'm trying to work on other.
Well, but let me. You're covering your. Wait, Christine, you're covering the lens with your hands.
No.
The RPIO is pointing out.
Right, but I'm saying if they're still allowed to be here, we're.
You're the first people I approach. I'm trying to get to everybody. Understood.
Hey,
Yeah.
Christine,
You know,
you're
yeah.
covering the lens with your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, tell that reporter he can stay there. If it's public property, he has the right to be there. That's the law.
We're trying to get her out.
Yes, I think he knows that. So, but let me ask him, so you know that we can be here on public property, right?
Well, it's not right to be here on public property.
Right, yeah.
Are you have a certain amount of control with that are trying, if they consider it.
Right.
You don't know if they're trying to force you out to try to minimize the coverage of this. That's really
Are you leaving?
I'm not leaving, no.
Okay, perfect.
okay. That's very
Thank you.
interesting. Yes.
Yeah, press briefing, because that's what he was alluding to, but I don't think that's
I see.
a press briefing.
Yeah.
I
The
But there's-
press have the right to be on public
The safety.
property.
I think what they're telling press here is that there will be a briefing somewhere that's not here. Now, I don't know,
If we had
if that's true,
I would go
but
separately.
I think what we're hearing on the ground here.
Yeah. Be careful. Your hand is covering the lens sometimes.
Yeah,
That's right.
Thank you. But yeah, I think that there's also the
That's my
possibility
point.
cynics would say
Right.
they don't want to have massive publicity about this. So, you know, I've been that reporter many times. I was in the mainstream media for
Hi,
37
Jane.
years. Hi.
I've
Tell
got
us
Emily
what's
Anderson
happening.
here, a Wisconsin resident who was just detained but has been released. Emily, would you like to share more?
Yes, so that was completely worth it. I was next to them when they were carrying puppies out. Every life is worth all of this effort. And I was doing the video on my phone, so they let me go. Just a trespassing violation, so I'll get a fine in the mail. But it was worth it. Wayne is back there, so I don't know. He was only detained too, so I don't know if he'll be arrested or not. But he gave them all the paperwork that says, you know, you're legally here to rescue the dogs. The police were very nice to me, so it was a
What
painless.
what is the mood of the people in that area? Get close to the camera and tell us the mood, if you would, of the people in the area.
Well, I think it's pretty positive. You know, we have some green tea people left here. It's really cold. One moment that was really intense is we had just broken through the window and the people were coming out with dogs and the police started driving up, right? And this thunder crack, it was so loud, it like shook the ground. And it was just as the police were coming up. It was really intense and it started hailing, right? So it's just like all these senses. But it was such an uplifting experience to be around like-minded people who are just trying to bring attention to the plight of these dogs. And seeing it live with my own eyes ripped my heart apart. Because you say 2x4 cage, but until you see it and you see dogs spinning in there, it's unbelievable. It's heartbreaking.
So my understanding is there are people who are willing to take these dogs, that is all set up. Just like when in Beagle closed down, there were people who took all those dogs.
Dude, I can take that. There's a lot of rescue groups. Actually, Emily, I'm going to have you take this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you talk about the, oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Jane, can you hear me? I think the phone died.
Yes, no, it's fine.
Is it? Hang on. I got a blank screen.
Oh, no, we can see you and hear you. Just stay steady.
Hang
Yeah,
on, Jane. I'm trying to fix the phone.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to. What do you make of it, Tiffany?
So exciting. I'm pins and needles. I'm hoping that some of those dogs got out to safety and that this will bring more attention to the plight of the remaining dogs. And I want to say, I see some activists from LA. I see some activists from San Diego, and people traveled all over the country for this, to participate in this open rescue. I see people from the UK are there to participate. So history in the making.
It is history in the making. Okay, I think there's some action. Can you make your camera horizontal?
Jane, can you kick me
again?
off here? I'm going to join a different phone. This is not working. Kick me off this one. I'll join another one. Okay, thanks.
All right, great. Okay, we'll see you in a second then. All right, so we are here now. We're only taking a momentary break. If you are just joining us, it is truly history in the making, a mass action to rescue beagles. This began in 2017 when Wayne Hsiung, the attorney and co-founder of DXE, went in to the facility, documented it. Here we go. We're going to add somebody to the stage here right now. Let's see what's going on.
With our job at this point is to not have to worry about all of it. You said follow through team that guys are willing to go in. We have to go through every building in there at this point. Okay. So I can't tell you the outcome of that. I don't know. I can't even get started on that until we get this done. So what you guys are doing, that's your manner of how you do things, right? We have our manner. One of those things is we have to completely stabilize the scene so we can not worry about what's going on out here, right? While we worry about what's going on. In order for that to happen, I'm just asking to relocate. It could be close to here. It doesn't matter. Just relocate. How long? How far? I can't. Go to Mount Horeb somewhere.
I mean, you take a look at Detroit drugs. So, but for months, this has been in the court, and this has been ruled on by a judge. Despite the problem caused,
I wish I could hear an answer that I feel would be accepted by you.
I'll accept it by anybody who wants to enforce the law.
I'm a sergeant at the sheriff's office. I came from Wisconsin County because this is going on. I don't have all the information. I haven't looked at it all, but I can't even do that until we clear it.
Well, it's clear from the actions of all the law enforcement involved in this. They have absolutely no interest.
This is Amy. Can you kick off the second device?
In protecting the criminal animal abuse right there. And that obviously it's plainly unacceptable. That's not why you signed up. That's not why you wear the badge. That's the reality. I may not be aware of it, but that is what happens. It is
But in order for me to do my level of work, my job, making sure people that can make those kind of decisions to come here and do their job, I need this crowd to do so. Right now, you guys are in a roadway. Right now,
What is your job? When you say go in and finish your job, can you tell us exactly what you mean?
We have to go in and clear the property at this point.
So you're gonna rescue the dogs?
No, I can't. If I tell you that, then I have to do that, right? So I don't know. I don't even know what's happening. Okay, I'm a street cop who came here because of this. Okay, but I have other people coming here that we can sort through what's going on. But we have to process everything first. In order to do that, my end of this job is to clear this. I just spoke to Wayne. He'll come out here and tell you the same thing. I just rather not get him out of a nice warm car and drag him out in the rain again.
That's fine. If he wants to come out and talk to us, that would be lovely.
It'll be a short conversation. It will be him saying, hey, listen to this gentleman.
Great.
My job right now, our job.
Thank you.
What's going on here, but you can't stay here.
Your job is to shield the criminals. To shield the criminals who torture the dogs. That's your job today, sir.
You've seen all of us have been standing here doing nothing at all. So what are we doing wrong if they want to tell us, please?
We've already explained that there's a scene and stuff that happened here that we're trying to gain control of and trying to stabilize. Right now, this group has our focus and it's taken away from what we're trying to do. We have to take steps in order, A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. And right now, we can't even start that because right here, our focus is here. And I know right now you guys are being cool and everything like that, but it's right here is not the spot for you guys to continue to stand to go. We have to have you move.
Okay, thank you. And I can assure you we're not going to do anything. And that officer said he's going to bring Wayne over to tell us the same thing. So thank you so much. And yeah.
I'm just asking. Like, protect the animals? Is there something?
I don't have an answer for that. I have no idea, man. Honestly, I don't even.
We know what that answer means. You have an answer. We're interpreting your answer logically.
You can interpret your answer however you want, but it doesn't make it correct, sir. Like, I'm just trying to stabilize everything that's going on right now, and you want me to jump to Z when I'm at A right now, and I can't do that.
I want you to jump to where the judge is. Dane County judge is at. Maybe we could just all be on board with that.
So this over here is public property. Are you asking us to leave this public property or just the runway?
Right. Well, he's going to get Wayne, and Wayne's going to come out and ask you guys to echo what we're saying and that to leave this area right here. All right. In its entirety. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, police want to move these folks out, but the folks don't want to leave. They're on public property, and as one person says, are they gaslighting? Somebody says keep the commotion in the street so that the activists can rescue more animals. It's just an excuse to get you out, move on, officers. So this is what some of the folks watching are saying. And it sounds like the longer there's commotion on the street, the longer it takes them to get to Ridgland is what one is saying. So there you go. It's pretty amazing. Wow.
You're live on. So my okay.
You're also live too. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, bring us up to date, will you please?
Yeah, absolutely, Jane. So my understanding is we've got lots of folks out here. I believe folks are being detained inside the facility still. It sounds like the sheriff, who everyone was just speaking with, is planning to bring Wayne out here potentially to have negotiations discussed. The activists are really concerned about the animals' safety. I believe that is everyone's utmost priority right now, given the lack of action that the state of Wisconsin and Dane County has had now for years and years, despite all the documented violations.
It seems very interesting because if you look at the Vigo
this is
case,
interesting. One of the reporters is talking with the sheriff. Oh, I think we just missed it. Apologies.
No worries. But if you look at the Vigo case, when Vigo got into trouble, and PETA had done an undercover investigation. They pleaded guilty. They were fined.
And I have no other information
all
on
those
that,
dogs
other
were
than-
moved into homes. So that's the precedent. This is another facility.
She's going to be there, and that's who she's going to talk to. I don't have a number off now.
Executive decision. We have one car, and there's a lot going on out here.
Could you please repeat that one more time?
Our public information officer is going to be at the Mount Horeb Police Department, and that's where we're telling media to stage so that she can give a statement to all the press there.
Wonderful, thank you. You catch that, Jane?
Yeah, but as a journalist, I can tell you if you're on public property, you have a right to be there. Of course, in terms of situations where there's gunfire or something like that in previous cases, they might be able to demand you leave. But in a situation like this, the media certainly has a right to be there, and so does the public if it's public property. If you're on private property, obviously not. That's the difference.
Correct, Jane. There's a briefing that's going to be happening.
And what are they going to say? I guess you could also have somebody else go to that and stay here. So you could have somebody else go to that briefing and bring us that live while you stay right there.
Oh, I'm planning to stay, Jane. I'm just letting you know what's happening is that Dane County, I believe it's Dane County, plans to hold a briefing at the Mount Horeb police station.
Right.
So they are not providing public comment until their public spokesperson gives a statement officially at the Mount Horeb police station. That is my understanding of what the police
That's when we'll find out, how many people were arrested, how many beagles were taken, whether the beagles have been confiscated by authorities, what authorities are going to do with the beagles. That's all good information. But right now, this story is happening right where you are right now, because last I checked, there were activists who went back into that facility, correct?
That is correct, Jan. I believe everybody who's inside the facility, which I believe accounts for most of the activists who went in to rescue the beagles, are currently in negotiations with responders. I believe mostly Dane County and some Mount Horeb.
Very interesting. So if you're just joining us, you are watching Animal Rights History in Action. This is breaking news live in Wisconsin. We got word early this morning that there was an action underway at Ridglan Farms where there were many, many beagles, thousands, according to some reports, living in these very small cages. There has been an ongoing legal battle, which has resulted in a victory. This company has agreed, in order to avoid prosecution for alleged criminal behavior, to stop selling these animals, these beagles, to other labs, but they have beagles on site. And the question is, what's happening to those 2,000 or so beagles? That's the big question. We invite this company on any time to comment. And The question is, how many beagles got out? How many were, if any, confiscated by police? We actually know at least one was confiscated. We saw that live. What happens to those beagles? How many people have been arrested? There's a lot of unanswered questions. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jane, I'm understanding. I do believe that some of the beagles did make it to the rescue house, is what I'm hearing from activists here saying. So I believe some did make it out. I have only seen here that one was intercepted by police, unfortunately. I'm also going to jump off momentarily. I will join again shortly. I got to get on their phone again.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
Okay,
Doing a great
thank you.
job, Amy. Amazing. Wow. Well, Tiffany, while we watch this, what are your thoughts, given that we are really here, we are seeing animal rights history in action in every social justice movement? There are these moments where, you know, Selma or women getting arrested when they wanted the right to vote. These moments that become iconic symbols of a movement. Is this such a moment?
I sure hope so, Jane. I think it is. I'm grateful for the dogs. That looks like at least a few of them are already at safety. And it's really going to shine a light on what's going on there at Envigo. I mean, not Envigo, at Ridglan Farms. And hopefully the rest of the dogs can get out and go to loving homes like what happened at Envigo. And just really exciting.
Yeah, but it's not over till it's over. We do not know. We saw vehicles leaving with beagles inside, but we don't know when they got out of frame whether they might have been intercepted by law enforcement. And the one beagle we saw being taken by sheriffs, surrounded by activists saying, please, please, please don't return that dog to the laboratory breeding facility. My personal feeling is, having covered many, many criminal trials over the course of many years, that when police collect evidence, it is certainly not only acceptable, but sometimes absolutely required for them to keep the evidence before the issue is resolved, so that there's no tainting of the evidence. So I would say that that's a good reason why the authorities should keep vehicles. All right, let's go back out. What's happening, Amy? Amy,
Hi, Jane.
tell us what's happening.
I'm going to have a UW-Madison professor who's going to do the live stream for a little bit so I can engage with media. We're still waiting. So I think we've got a crowd right here. We've got some wonderful music playing. And I believe we are still waiting for police to come out for conversation with the activists. So we will see what happens next.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. So perhaps the professor can tell us her thoughts about, one of the reasons this is coming up now is that in today's world with artificial intelligence, there's so many advances. They can literally do years or even decades worth of research in days with artificial intelligence. We're in the 21st century, and they've been breaking dogs' spinal cords to find out what happened since before Christ.
By the way,
Yeah. So absolutely, with relatively recent advances in AI, with other alternative methods, many of the types of things that were done in animals can now be done more effectively, more quickly, using non-animal methods. But I would like to say, even if you are a scientist who's studying a system that is not yet ready to be replaced, and you're working for cures for disease, for disorders, to improve treatments, and so on, the Ridglan dogs are not your animal model. They're mistreated. I could go on at length.
Hey, Jane, I'm going to pause really quick. We got something breaking. Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
So you're free to have your opinion, but how many times have I asked you for an interview? Can you count them?
Jay, this is Jim Newman here on site.
I'm going to get my car.
And who's that?
He is Ridglan's.
Well, could you ask him if he'd like to give us a statement? We'd like to get his side.
Would you like to give a statement?
Do you know who Friendly Perspective is on Facebook? Okay.
Can you ask him one more time? We'd like to get his statement, what he thinks about this. We'd like to get the other side.
I'll tell you what, that's not the situation in there.
Media here who would love to hear your opinion.
We provide comment, Jim Newman.
Other than Fox, who else is here?
Live
Yeah, you're a.
Unchained TV.
Could you give us a comment, sir?
I will talk to you. Okay. But not with this circumstance. That's fine. But I've invited you not in this circumstance many times. I'd be happy to. But okay. Give me a call, send me an email. Let's set that up. Okay. Well, let's do it today when this is an active crime. Okay. But I need to. This is an active situation. Just tell me when or where. And do you have my phone number? Why don't you? Here, I can text it to you. Yeah. Do you have my number from before? Is it in your?
Can we get a statement from you, sir? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I can do that.
What do you,
Jim Newman,
sir?
again, a request for a statement.
Not this time. This is still an active situation.
Well, what about letting the beagles be adopted into homes?
Okay, Brian. Good.
Yeah, this is Jim Newman.
This is Jim Newman.
Would you be willing, sir, to let the beagles be adopted into homes?
2190.
All right. Well, we invite him on anytime. We are a news operation. We would like to get both sides of the story. We would like to get your side of the story, sir. And he is, well, I don't know. I've never met him before, but purportedly he is an executive with the company. I don't know. I have no idea.
Jane, actually, I believe Ridglan has hired him. He has worked for a variety of vivisection industry in the past. And so he essentially is their PR person these days. He currently is in the car with Brian Polson, as he wouldn't agree to talk to anybody outside of the vehicle. He's agreeing to talk to Brian Polson. Jim Newman looks a little heated from my perspective.
Well, we can't look. I can't independently verify any of that, but we could just say we invite anybody from Ridglan on anytime to comment. And we'd like to get their side of the story. Meanwhile, I think we can leave them alone. I don't want to look like we're pestering him. And these people standing by, I have a feeling something's going to happen any second now, because those activists went in there, a good half an hour ago, right?
That's activists
correct. In the white outfits.
Why are you one of the attorneys? This is Taj Uppel. Taj, would you like to provide any comment?
Hi, Jane and everyone. We're out here with the green team outside the property. You can see Ridglan Farms in clear line of sight. The update that I just got from some people in there is that about 30 of them were detained and then released. However, they decided to stay on the facility, at least the vast majority of them, and I think they're planning to be arrested. We just saw a big semi-truck pull up here. I'm not sure about this, but I think that semi-truck is going to be used to transport all the activists to a jailing facility, or it's possible that they just release them some short distance outside of here. We actually already have some members among us right here who were previously on the facility, and those members have themselves be arrested. So it's clear that the police have some awareness that they're on the wrong side of history here. They're coming up on people who are entering buildings, and the police see this happening in the plain line of sight, and yet they're still just letting them go 15 minutes later. You can imagine any other context. If you're going inside a building to try and take something out of it, the police are going to come down on you hard. But the difference here is the thing we're trying to take from inside that building is an animal who's suffering. And like any of us can see, like the police can see here, that is very different. And so we'll wait to see what unfolds. But yeah, I think this mission has already been a success.
And we understand some dogs have made it to freedom.
I haven't gotten full confirmation of that yet myself. You may have more information on that than I do, however.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Please let us know if you see anything on the horizon. This is a very fast-moving situation. A lot of coordination.
A lot.
Tell us a little bit about the coordination. People don't just wake up at 4 a.m. and decide to show up in a storm, very cold temperatures in the middle of the country in Wisconsin. How much coordination went into this?
There's a lot of coordination, definitely in the months leading up to the action. There are many people discussing the logistics of it, but I'd say it goes even further back. there's been 2 decades of organizing. I'm actually getting some information here right now. Okay, I can't hear what they're saying, but yeah, it's 2 decades of organizing, relationship building, skill building, and a lot of that has culminated in this moment where we're able to pull off something very logistically complicated, like organizing a conference, getting everyone to come out to Wisconsin, and actually entering a facility and getting these dogs out to the homes where they belong. It's very complicated, and I think that speaks to our movement's power.
And I understand there are homes willing to take these dogs, just like with the Envigo case.
Exactly. Yeah, that Envigo case was incredible, right? 3,000 dogs, I think, were let out of that facility, and we found homes for them all. For the amount that we got out today, I'm still not sure what that number is. I'm certain that we will be able to find them homes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. One of the attorneys who is involved in this rescue, we really appreciate you taking the time to speak to us.
Likewise. Thank you, Jane. Appreciate your reporting.
Okay. And now, Amy, while we're on a wider shot, I want to put a couple of things on that people have said. All right. Kristen May says, call this number. Please call Dane County now. Press 6 for non-emergency. Here's what I said. Hi, my name is blah, blah. I'm calling to urge law enforcement to investigate and enforce Wisconsin animal cruelty laws regarding the conditions at Ridglan Farms. There have been ongoing reports and legal actions related to the treatment of dogs there. Many community members are deeply concerned about the welfare of the animals. I'm asking that authorities ensure the dogs are protected. Thank you so much, Kristen May, for offering that example. That is the number. We're going to put the number on the screen again. There you go. You can call that number and feel free to text us what the experience was of calling the police or law enforcement and asking for them to not return the dogs to the facility, but rather the dogs that they grabbed. We know they grabbed at least one dog, that they send those dogs to loving homes. This mass animal rights action has been in progress now for about 2 hours. We've been live. UnchainedTV has been live the entire time. And we are live in Wisconsin thanks to Amy, who's being a reporter. Amy, do you see any sign of the animals coming out or the activists coming out?
No, not yet. Here, I'll switch to the camera again. I was just setting up a tripod. No, I think negotiations are happening, it sounds like. We got something. Let me switch to the camera. I can't tell who this, I believe this is Alexandra Paul coming out.
Yes, that's former Baywatch actress Alexandra Paul, who's also an incredible activist. She has been arrested previously, a couple of times at least, in other animal rights actions. And she is an amazing leader in the animal rights movement. A lot of people are calling. They're saying push 6 to speak with something about something happening right now and request that the police be on the right side of history. I do feel that those calls are very, very important. Why? Because it was really public pressure that resulted in local people protesting. There you see, local people protesting, not some animal rights group from New York or LA or San Francisco, but local people protesting that resulted in a hearing that ended up with a special prosecutor getting this facility to agree to shut down its dog sales and breeding for sale operations in exchange for not being prosecuted for alleged violations. That did save thousands of dogs. The question is, what happens to the dogs that remain? We are told approximately 2,000 dogs, maybe more, maybe less, are on site. And Lindsay Baker says, spread the word about this operation in every possible way you can. TikTok is a big one. Share it there, or X or IG. We don't have the reach of mainstream media, but we have the spiritual power and moral obligation to do this. Amazing.
And Jane,
yes.
This is Tiffany. Hey, I'm reading that some of the dogs have made it to freedom.
That's excellent. Any other details at all? Any number of the dogs that made it to freedom?
No, they don't have the number, but I guess it's been confirmed that some, whatever that means, have made it to freedom.
Wow. So that's the question. We do not know how many dogs have made it to freedom. We know some have made it to freedom, but we don't know how many. All right. Do not give the attempted rescue dogs back to criminals. Okay. And again, we invite the company on. We just saw somebody who was allegedly a spokesperson for the company, but he chose not to comment to us. But they are invited on anytime. We'd love to dialogue with you. People are calling those activists who are on the scene heroes. And this has been going on for about 2 hours, but you're looking at sort of the hill over which the actual facility is. There's thousands of dogs in there. I want to play a couple of things. Let's play what
Jay,
Wayne
we've got
said.
some action here.
Okay, let's see what's happening.
It's also really hard to hear you. Can you hear us okay? We can barely hear you.
We can hear you just very well.
Okay.
Yes. This is a police vehicle, correct? All right. It's a police vehicle. We are live as this police vehicle. No, it's an ambulance. Moves past us. Okay. There you go.
Jane, we're just going to set a tripod up. We'll be right back if you can cover for us.
Yes, absolutely. So they're going to put the tripod on. It's very hard to just stay live with your camera for a long period of time. I want to play what Wayne Hsiung said about the condition of these dogs.
This is Julie. And Julie was on the bottom row in a 2-foot by 4-foot metal cage, standing on wire her entire life. She'd lived there for about a year. In over a 2-hour time period, every single time we looked towards Julie, she was spinning exactly like this for 2 hours. All 3 of the dogs we rescued from Ridglan Farms, there's video footage of these dogs after we rescued them struggling to even walk. And this is one of them, Julie.
All right. So they're back. I guess my question is, it seems like there's dialogue with the police. They've talked back and forth. They've talked to Wayne. So where does that stand? Are these arrests going to happen? Have they already happened? Where are we?
You have the latest I've heard, Jane. So the last I heard was what we recorded out here, where one of, I believe, the sheriffs from Dane County had stated that it sounded like Wayne was on his way out with other police or sheriffs to then have a conversation. It sounds like they're still in the facility. No one's come out this way. I believe this is the only exit from the facility. And then additionally, it sounds like Dane County is holding a press conference at the Mount Horror Police Station. And it sounds like that's the only public comment they're planning to give at this time.
And there was this officer who was trying to get everybody to leave. Did he go away and give up? Are the media still there?
There is quite a bit of media here. So I see some folks kind of along the roadside as well. But yeah, he kind of just left us alone. And I think they went back into the facility. They might have gone to the Mount Horror Police Department.
Wow. So where does it stand? Do you think that we're going to see more dogs coming out?
I don't think there's any way that this ends without more dogs coming out, but I hope that it is a government that is acting at this point. I mean, the reason that all the activists are here today is because the government has barely acted. There's been so much inaction happening. We've seen a little bit of action from the Veterinary Examining Board, who did suspend the lead veterinarian's license for Ridglan, so he is currently still suspended. Additionally, we saw Judge Lanford appointed a special prosecutor. That special prosecutor to investigate the facility for criminal animal cruelty. That special prosecutor did make an agreement with Ridglan Farms to end their breeding sales in this July. But that is all of the tangible action we've really seen. Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection, they are the state entity that regulates Ridglan's license to breed. They did assess Ridglan with 311 violations, but those violations were essentially sent to the special prosecutor, and so that was wrapped up in the agreement that was made with the special prosecutor a few months ago.
So what is it that these activists want specifically?
We want the dogs released right away. So that's what the activists are asking for, is that all of the dogs in the facility are released without delay.
And if, let's say, 2,000 beagles are released, what happens to them in your best case scenario?
Yeah, absolutely. So if the government acts and chooses to intervene and force seizure of the dogs, there are thousands of rescue organizations across the country willing to take dogs. There are also hundreds of rescues that I'm aware of that are willing to take the dogs that if they came out of the facility from the activists as well. So
yes, and we know that with Vigo, which is a similar situation in 2021, PETA did an undercover investigation, found serious problems. Vigo had to pay a fine. The place was shut down. This was in Cumberland, Virginia, and largest rescue of dogs possibly in history. 4,000 dogs went from the research facility to homes. And guess what? Watching right now is one of the parents. They call themselves Vigo parents. And she has just commented to say thank you. And she hopes that these animals will get out. So we know it can happen. We know, even though it seems like a lot, that there are ways to get these animals into homes.
It is truly such an amazing experience to see all these brave individuals choosing to be here to help these pups when the government hasn't acted. We are also, I'm going to bring you over to Paul really quick because I think something's happening.
Yes.
I think at that point, but if it is, we'll do it and we'll move on to the next place. But yeah, we're just so thankful that y'all are here and remaining nonviolent. And some dogs are on their way to the rescue house. We know that. I don't know how many. And I know the other thing that's unfortunate is that some dogs did get intercepted by the police. So we got some work to do to call the police and tell them, hey, whatever you do, don't get these dogs back to Ridglan, the place that's criminally abusing them. These dogs need to go to forever homes. But we have 100 forever homes lined up. So please help us coordinate with the police and get these dogs to the right spot, not back to the life of torture that they were facing here. So yeah, just appreciate everyone being here and remaining patient and so nonviolent. I don't think we should be necessarily chanting or anything because no one's gonna really hear us. So yeah, just relax, enjoy your company. It's not every day you get to see this kind of thing. I don't know, people see the live stream? Yeah. It was so epic. You see Wayne bashing through the vent.
Oh my God.
I saw someone in the comment section said, go through the vent. And I guess, I don't know if Wayne saw that or if it was a coincidence. And Wayne takes the hammer and just busting that. Started shoving people through. And the next thing you know, people are coming out with dogs. So powerful. And then, yeah, Lawrence was in that van. And then an employee, actually, I thought maybe it was the police, but it was actually an employee, it seems, got physical, had a knife, and slashed 3 of the tires. So thank goodness Lawrence is okay. Wow. But yeah, it's just goes to show what kind of people that work here sometimes. Not to change anything, go here. No, not that I know of. We can look into that.
Hey, Jane.
Yes.
Carl is going to talk about, it sounds like one of the Ridglan employees at least got pretty violent with the activists here. So Carl is going to provide her comment. You want me to, yeah, does that work?
Yeah, there may be a time where you want to.
Hi, Carla.
Hello.
Without naming names, what happened?
So some of us were taking dogs out. We had the dogs. We were heading out through the fence, and one of the workers was trying to block us. So we went to a separate fence and started to go down that way. And the person got in their truck and sped down to that area to try to block it. So we went out the first area of the fence, and he tried to run us over multiple times with the truck. He kept speeding and doing like spins and trying to run into us, and basically tried to kill us while we were getting out. Luckily he, after a little while, just decided to speed off. Thank goodness nobody was hurt, but we were definitely very, very scared. But nevertheless, every one of us got all of the dogs that we had out.
And I understand that at some point,
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, okay. Tell us what you know about, how many dogs got to freedom.
We don't know the number, but we do know that some of them were rescued completely. They will have lives that are free from harm. They will be loved. We have a lot of people who are willing to take these dogs in. So we're still here. There are still people who are trying to negotiate. We know that the lawful order is that there is felony animal cruelty going on in this facility, that we have a right to be here. And you know that because they don't want to arrest us. They don't want to do this. Some of the police came out and talked to us. They just want us to leave. And they are trying to guarantee us that they will handle things, but first they need to see what's going on the property. But they are really doing their best to try not to arrest anybody. A lot of people have been cited and released because they know that we have the moral high ground on this. They know that we have the legal system has been on our side about what is happening in there and that it's not okay. The sticking point is this interim period where Ridglan is supposed to be getting rid of the dogs, but they're also continuing to experiment on the dogs, and that's unacceptable. There shouldn't be this time period before they close down. We need to make sure that all of these dogs get out and get to loving homes. So we're asking everybody to contact Dane County, let them know that everybody's aware. The police said they know, that we're all aware, which is why I think they don't want this to happen. I think some people may end up getting arrested, but there is conversation going on right now.
Breaking update. So Alexandra Paul will move you over to try to see in a minute, but we're hearing that everyone is going to be transported to jail who is currently on their property.
Now, it is an odd situation, an upside down world where you have people almost begging to be arrested and the police almost begging for them to go away. Not something you normally find, nor do you find people who are arrested for crimes broadcasting their alleged crimes to the world. With open rescue, it's an upside down world. Can you explain that to people who may not be familiar?
Yeah, I think that's a really beautiful thing. So, I mean, all the activists are here because they are defending the right to rescue. And so, based on, I apologize, I'm having some, with the really hard because this keeps kind of freezing.
It's
but
freezing
that it
a
is
little
a right
bit. Now
to
you're good.
rescue the dogs that are here. And so wanting to be very open and transparent about that because believing that nothing we're doing is wrong or against the law.
Yeah, and Carla was explaining, I think, why it's so important from your perspective that people call, because really public pressure is what resulted in the hearing that resulted in a special prosecutor.
Hey, Jane, we're having a lot of trouble hearing you. I think there's rain, like water in the phone again. So that's what keeps happening with the devices. But it sounds like Alexandra Paul has just been arrested right behind us. I'm going to try to set up a new camera and leave Carla for a minute, okay?
Okay, yeah. Why is it important for people to call, Carla?
So that they know that this is not just an issue of a few animal rights activists that care about this. They need to know that the larger society, that the society cares about what these places are doing to these vulnerable dogs. Beagles are used for experimentation precisely because they're so gentle natured. When we went in, the place where we were, there were two of them in each cage and they were running around, but they were scared, which I understand a dog might be scared, but these were young puppies. And I'm sure that they get tossed around all the time. But once they were in our arms, they were absolutely still. I kept kissing my dog on the head and they just looked at me and they were totally calm. And the reason we want people to contact Dane County again is so that they know that this is not just a matter of a few of us. This is a broader issue about animal experimentation, and that facilities like this should not be in existence. It's unacceptable. not just for them to be here, but for this place, for the criminal animal cruelty that's happening. We want everyone, we want the world to tell this county that it's not acceptable, and then the broader community that nowhere, this is not going to be acceptable anywhere.
What about the media? Are you seeing media there?
Yeah, yes, but I think a lot of them went to the briefing at the Mount Horeb Police Department. So there still is media here, but it looks like some folks did go into Mount Horeb where Dane County is briefing. And Jane, I'm going to leave to go ahead and switch phones again.
Okay.
Okay,
yes.
we'll be back.
You're looking at video of dogs inside this facility taken when Wayne Hsiung went in there in 2017. And you could see the spinning, dogs spinning like that for hours on end. Extremely, extremely disturbing stuff. And they're saying it's very important people call. So we're going to keep putting the number up of where you should call and let the law enforcement know that you don't want the dogs to be returned to the facility. And the activists ask that you facilitate the dogs being put up for adoption. So this is truly historic. We've been live for a couple of hours now. Want to go back to Tiffany, former law enforcement investigator. There's your dog. I should get my dog out, who has to be walked soon, but she is a Beagle mix. And I every day see how docile and how easygoing my Beagle mix is. And that's one of the reasons why they use Beagles is because they are so docile. And I know you've got a poodle there, but they're very docile. Okay, so how many activists are still inside Ridglan?
As far as I know, all of the activists that enter the facility generally are still inside Ridglan. And Jane, I'm going to leave you here for a couple of minutes. I got to do a few things.
Okay.
So I'll leave you here, and maybe Paul is able to chat, or Lawrence. Would you like to share about what happened to the car?
Anybody, just come on up and talk. Okay, we get it. You've got things to do. So why don't you come up, sir? You don't have to give us your name, but why are you here? Speak up if you can.
Oh, that's okay. Everyone knows my face. I'm Lawrence Knez. So I was one of the drivers, and it was kind of surreal because essentially all the activists were coming over the ridge. I was creating crates in the van and just kept looking over to see if anybody was coming. And there was nobody, right? There's nobody. I couldn't believe it. There's nobody. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts to come over the ridge. And there was nobody here. There was no police. There was nothing. Nobody here. Nothing. So they're all coming in. They're all trudging through the snow. And it was raining really hard. And it was hailing. So you couldn't really, you could see, you just see white and all the activists, right? Because they're all wearing PPE, protective gear for biosecurity reasons. And so activists were moving towards various vans and whatnot. And interestingly enough, my van was turned a different direction than all the other vans. And the activists came. I was closest to the ridge. And the activist came, jumped in my vehicle. And I was kind of closing up the vehicle and whatnot. And essentially, somebody came up to me, a pretty large set person. I believe I saw their face. And they were wearing red, and they came up to me, and they're pushing me, and they pushed me against the van from this side. And I could tell when he was pushing me that he had an open knife in his hand. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I need to get this, I got to get away from this person, whatnot, get back in the van, and we just need to go. And so I jumped back in the van, and the person slashed all the tires while we were in the vehicle. And so, your adrenaline's just going, and I'm facing this direction. Probably would have been a good idea to be like, okay, we need to get the dog to a different vehicle. We're not going to make it very far. But we just came, and you can maybe see in the background or whatnot, but there is a vehicle that is stuck there essentially. Oh, We get a little
Got it.
adjustment. Yeah.
But I saw that two dogs, I believe two dogs were taken out of that vehicle whose tires were slashed. What about other dogs? Were there just two dogs in there?
Yeah, so there's two dogs in the vehicle, and once we were kind of dead in the water, we were able to get the dogs to a different vehicle and was able to go that direction. I don't really know too much actually after that myself, but there were two dogs in the vehicle, and then we had a whole crew of the team come up and make sure the dogs got to a different direction.
Wow. And so here you are. I would think you'd be the first person arrested. You were essentially driving the getaway car. Why are you standing here?
Well, so what we did, right? There's worse crimes taking place. Like, we are helping dogs, and so we feel legally obligated to be here, morally and
yeah. I understand. I totally get that, and I get that. But what I'm saying, just logistically, when I saw the white vehicle with the tires slashed, it looked like it was surrounded. So I guess what happened next, that I saw the two dogs, two beagles, were removed to another car that drove off.
Yeah, you guys probably all saw that.
Then what happened?
I'm not going to really disclose, but essentially the dogs went with other activists, and it was so great to have so many people, right? We got people on various teams, and that's why it created such a large amount of people coming over and confusion, and we were able to, get that direction.
And I guess my question was, law enforcement had arrived at that time. Did they talk to you, or did they say, what did they say to you? And were you ticketed or detained?
No, all they told me to do was shut the vehicle off. That's all I was essentially told. Looks like we might have a tow truck the vehicle.
Got it. Somehow we lost you. Maybe you could try to come back. The camera went down for a second, but while we're there, what are your thoughts on this entire operation, Tiffany? You've been watching this kind of stuff for a long time. You are a former law enforcement investigator. So actually, you could tell us to a certain degree the police perspective, but you're also an animal activist.
Yes, I know that for my career, I investigated allegations of abuse for the most vulnerable. That included children, elderly, teens in foster homes, group homes. And I just can't imagine if these teens or children were being treated the way these dogs were or alleged in this facility, that there wouldn't be massive outcry. Just what we know, it's hard to get your mind around, and everybody loves dogs. So I feel like this is history in the making. And just to see people from all over the country, a few people from the UK that came over to participate in this mass rescue, and relieved to hear that some of the dogs have made it to safety. And hopefully this action will result in the rest of the dogs getting out of the facility and going to loving homes that they deserve.
Let's listen to what Wayne said at the start of this operation. When we didn't know, I just got a call, go live, there's something happening. We really didn't know exactly what was going down. Let's listen.
I'm in Wisconsin right now with a bunch of other activists trying to save hundreds, thousands of dogs from imminent torture and death. The government has already admitted these dogs are facing felony animal abuse because of surgical mutilations without painkillers, conditions that are so nauseating that even government inspectors said they have difficulty breathing inside, and cages that are 2 feet by 4 feet, cages that sometimes these animals live in for their entire lives. 2 of the dogs we historically rescued from Ridglan had lived in that cage for 7+ years. Imagine living in a 2x4 metal cage for 7 years. That was Anna's and Lucy's life before we got them out. So we're going to be risking everything for these animals, and we have so many people who are brave, who are compassionate, who are courageous, willing to do whatever it takes to help these animals. We're calling for the authorities to help us as well, and they have a legal obligation to enforce the law and protect these dogs. We hope they're willing to execute the search warrant. We have a big demonstration planned, and we're going to ask them to help. But if the government doesn't help, if the government doesn't rescue the dogs, we will. And we'll do that no matter what it takes. But the thing that you can do, every single person watching this reel right now can do, is amplify the message. Share with everyone, save the dogs at IL, let people know what's happening to Ridglan dogs, because with the pressure we can place on the system, on the government, on the district attorney of Wisconsin, we can get every one of those dogs out.
And I'd like to say as well, they're going to be rejoining us. I've contacted them. They're just getting their camera going. But, oh, here we are. The camera's back. Yeah, we can see you.
Can you hear us?
Yep. Yes. 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 We can see
Jen, are you there?
and
We
hear
can't hear you.
Yes. Yes. We could. Yes. I'll just put it. Yes, we can. Yes.
Jane, we can't hear you. I'm going to have Paul go ahead in case you can hear us. We can always repeat. I think Paul has an update on some of the rescues.
Great.
Oh yeah, so everybody, just the FYI, I got an update that we think 22 dogs are safely on their way to rescue. So that's great. 22 dogs, could be more, could be a couple more, but I know at least 22 are apparently headed to the rescue location. So that's great.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's amazing news, Paul.
I was hoping we get 34 like yesterday, but 22 is great. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That is
Yeah.
amazing.
And then just a reminder too, like the work will really be to get the police to hand over the other dogs to good forever homes which we have lined up. So that'll require a lot of call, a lot of pressure. And so we'll do that shortly. But yeah, and Jane's audience is already helping with that.
2,000 on site. So
Yeah, 2,000 on site.
2,000 dogs on site.
Did the police seize any dogs?
Not that I know of yet. The police say they're gonna try to shut everything down. They'll look for each barn one by one, and so hopefully this police will actually find more criminal animal cruelty, more dogs to seize.
Yeah.
And eventually you can get to the point like, you know what, this whole place is in violation once again. So they just seize all the dogs. That's the goal, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's hope for it. Let's. I think we're off to a good start.
It's looking really promising.
Yeah, some people are probably going to get cited and released, and some people get arrested. And the people that get arrested, I don't know if they'll actually get charged, but we hope they do, honestly, because we want to take it to court. Yeah. So thanks again for everybody for being here. Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
The cold, staying out here.
You catch that, Jane?
22 dogs. Wow. 22.
Jane, unfortunately, it sounds like you can hear us. We can't hear you at all or see you.
Citations, but they don't want to, you know, so.
Get that.
I'm going to try to leave and swap out a phone one more time. The rain is posing a lot of technical difficulties on our end. We'll be back.
No, it's been good. It's been good. So, what we're learning is you heard Paul Picklesheimer say that the calls from the people watching this feed, there are hundreds of people watching this feed, and if they can call, and the number is right here, it's very easy. It's having an impact because it's letting law enforcement know that it's not just some small group of radicals, as the animal activists sometimes are portrayed, that it's a community that wants these dogs to be put in loving homes. And we know that it's not just these folks, it is people in the community. There's an organization called Dane for Dogs. And I want to put up the photo of them outside the courthouse. These are not people from far away. These are Dane for Dogs is a community organization, but everybody has the right to call law enforcement as a U.S. citizen. You don't have to be living there. So I will put that number up again. And, oh, you're wearing your Dane for Dogs hat. Have you called, Tiffany?
Yes, I called, and
what was your experience?
They're taking names and saying that they'll call back. And I guess they're inundated with all these calls, which is great because they're getting the message that people care about these dogs, and they're really not set up for this mass amount of calls. So please, please keep calling.
And the number is there on your screen. Write it down. Call now. You can also call later because what Wayne Hsiung said was that the authorities, the powers that be, the courts respond to public pressure. It's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be, hey, here's the law. You're not supposed to have dogs operated on without anesthesia by a non-veterinarian. 3 strikes, you're out, whatever. You can't do this anymore. But that's not how the system operates. The system operates when there's public pressure. Then all of a sudden, they feel politically they can't afford to bring this dogs back. Okay, I don't know about that county specifically, but I know that generally sheriffs are elected officials, and so they're politicians, and so public pressure really, really counts. And if those calls keep coming in, and we know those calls are coming in thanks to this live feed, but we don't want it to let up. So I'm going to keep putting that number up. Everybody, call. But the breaking news is that 22 dogs are on their way to freedom. That is a huge number. And we do invite Ridglan on anytime. There was a representative reportedly right there. He refused to speak to us, but we keep an open invitation. So what is the latest, Amy, out there at the scene?
The latest is we are all planning to wait until it sounds like Wayne and all the activists who went in the facility are still there. It sounds like we expect some will be cited, detained, others may be arrested. They are still discussing. We are very hopeful. So the plan is for all of us to stay and wait to see what happens. And then I'm actually going to leave you with Christina, Lawrence, and Aaron are going to man the live stream for a little bit. I'll be back as soon as I can, okay?
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, Chris, whoever wants to comment, I want to talk to you or whoever's there about the realities of public pressure. Hypothetically, public pressure isn't supposed to count, but it does count. It counts a lot. Tell us about that.
Well, it's what we're counting on, right? Like, we're super happy to hear that over 20 dogs have made it out, but the reality is that thousands of dogs are still in there. And so we're hoping the public recognizes again, either for ethical reasons, legal reasons, or reasons that have to do with high quality science, this facility needs to be shut down. So we're putting much of our optimism in with the public, raising awareness so that others will join us and put the pressure on.
You're a scientist.
I am.
You're a scientist. The people who support animal experimentation like to say that all the scientists are on their side, but that's not true anymore. We know that the National Institutes of Health, for example, is now transitioning proactively away from animal experimentation. This is an entire new project where they are finally not run just by vivisectors. They are starting to say non-animal models are more effective, they're safer, and they're cheaper.
Right. And in many cases, that's absolutely true. And scientists are moving over. Scientists are not in the business of torturing animals. They're in the business of finding, answers to questions, many of them having to do with improving health for humans. And when alternatives come online that are as effective, in many cases better than animal experiments, scientists move over. But I want to make a point about what's going on at Ridglan. Even if most of the dogs at Ridglan are used for toxicity testing, which can absolutely be substituted with alternative methods. The alternative methods that are available for toxicity testing are very good, and animals should not be used in that setting. Having said that, there are animals that are used in studies that have to do with health. Any scientist who knew about the conditions at Ridglan, who knows the conditions that these dogs are in, they're under serious amounts of stress, exhibiting very abnormal behaviors. They're living in unsanitary conditions. Feces is not cleared. There are toxic levels of ammonia in there. The list goes on. And this is not conjecture. This is in the special process important this is, documented by USDA inspections, right? Animals living in those conditions are not good animal models for experiments. So scientists, if they knew what was going on in there, even if they did animal experiments, would not want their animals to come from this facility. That is why I say, whether you are out here on ethical grounds, which I am, whether you are out here noting that these people are breaking the law, or whether you are out here as a scientist, which I also am, noting that high quality science cannot come out of the animals in this facility, period. So no matter where you are, I'm all about moving science into alternatives when good alternatives are available. I'm all for moving much of our funding into developing alternatives. Having said that, the reality today, even the people who want to use or who feel like they need to use animals in their experiments, particularly dogs in their experiments, they would not want their dogs coming from Ridglan.
As somebody said here, it's bad science. We are
bad
animals.
science.
We are not humans. We aren't animals. We are humans. Sorry. So that's extraordinary. This is history in the making. And tell me if you agree.
Absolutely.
Oh, hi, Jane. Yes, this is absolutely history in the making. It is an honor to be here and be part of this. So many years, I think we've all waited for action, and we have advocated. We have done so many things, and to finally have action happening, because just average everyday residents and folks came and helped us. This is phenomenal.
How many people would you say are there all told in all the teams?
At least I think at least 100 people. I think though some folks got stuck. I think as more and more people came, but there was at least 100 people. I think throughout the course of the morning. Do you agree with that, Christina?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There might be some action over here. I'm going to change your view a little bit, Jane.
Sure.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. We do. Actually, I'm going to stop here. Lawrence, come join. Can you talk about what happened with your truck one more time?
Yeah.
So, Jane, I'm just going to put it down over here. And
Okay.
then Lawrence can talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
Here, I think that is good.
Tow truck company is here to get the vehicle, but essentially, there was
get a little closer. A little closer.
Okay, yeah, get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to tell me, though, I talked about the story a little bit earlier, but I mean, the most important thing that everybody should know right now is that and it sounds like we're videoing and whatnot, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, but essentially, from my perspective, everybody's coming over this ridge, and I was setting up crates and whatnot for the van and preparing it, and letting people know, hey, get in this van, whatnot. Somebody gets in my van with 2 dogs, and essentially, I'm closing up the van and whatnot. Somebody comes up to me and is pushing me hard against the van. And I realize I'm looking out of the corner of my eye. It's like I recognize this person a bit, and they're a burly person. They have an open knife in their hand. And so I'm like, okay, I need to get away from this situation or whatever, right? Lock the car, you get over it, we need to get going. And so I jump in the car, and then this person with that knife takes and slaps three of the tires on that vehicle. So in that instance, we didn't really know what to do. So we kind of just started to come back this way, and that's how the vehicle did end up here. And then essentially, right, we're sitting ducks. What's interesting is there's nobody here, and then all of a sudden, this road was blocked, the big vehicle, so forth, right? Police came in, but there was nobody here 5 seconds earlier, it felt like. And so the whole road was blocked this direction, but the many other vans went the other direction. You can see there's no other vehicles here, so a lot of other vans got away, and essentially, so right, we're sitting ducks. I got this dog, and really we had a whole group of people, right? Because all those people came over the ridge. We've got lots of people on various different levels, and essentially they surrounded the vehicle, which I think your live stream, if you go check the live stream earlier, you would have seen it. Surrounded the vehicle and took the dog to safety, another direction, to another vehicle that direction. So we're very thankful for that. But I mean, I was assaulted with a deadly weapon essentially. So I will be making a report to the police, and whatnot.
We'll go to your
Wow,
grandma.
amazing. And it just shows you this is not without risk. You know, one thing that I don't think people realize is how much courage it takes to do something like this. I only had to get up at, early in the morning and sit in a chair. You guys, I mean, the amount of preparation and the amount of work and being there in the cold and the risk of arrest and the risk of, once you're arrested, things go on your record, especially right now. If you're trying to travel, the airlines are asking you if you've been arrested. So, I'm not asking you to give yourself a pat on the back, but for all those that are there, all those folks,
so
what
proud
have
of
they
everybody.
gone through to be there? What have they gone through?
And actually, Jane, speaking of that, we've got some movement over here. I'm just going to turn the view again. So we had a few, while Lawrence was talking, and we've had a few more police trucks show up. Alexandra Paul is still outside the vehicle talking with police, which is interesting because that's been happening. I mean, I kind of lost track of time, but probably at least 45 minutes.
Yeah, she's been there a long time.
Yeah.
I came back from the vehicle and whatnot.
Yeah, it's got to be freezing. It's so cold here, and especially for the folks that were in the facility, they did not have coats like we all have on. So
yeah. They're in their sanitary outfits, their biohazard outfits that are not as warm.
I don't know if you can see this, Jane, but there's a fence line along the property, and there is some individual walking along the fence line. I assume that's someone with Ridgland. It looks like, but it doesn't look like police to me. So I'm just kind of curious what's happening there as well.
And, this reminds me of some of the other big actions. I just want to show an action from California. Wayne Hsiung was also involved in this open rescue. And you can see the police response to this peaceful protest and open rescue, people holding flowers, singing songs. And you would think that this was some kind of mass shooting or terrorist plot or something, with the incredible police response to these peaceful activists. And every time I see this video, I say to myself, boy, I'd love to see some police presence when I walk my dogs at 11:30 at night and I've got a flashlight and a whistle because I'm nervous. But yet this is what law enforcement chooses to focus on. And so, it's absolutely extraordinary to see, where law enforcement is on these issues. But we could flip them if we wanted. We could flip them.
Jane, was that right card?
I don't remember exactly where it was, but I have to say that it was in California and it was a direct action everywhere action.
Yeah, I believe I was there. I was chained in front there myself as well. It was crazy to see the police presence.
Tell us about that. I mean, are the police dealing with this one differently? Have police evolved?
I haven't interacted much with the police, so I couldn't really say.
I can comment a little bit.
Yeah.
So I observed a mix of responses. It was interesting. When Wayne was here a few weeks ago, one of the officers that came out then was one of the ones I was on site this morning. I perceived her to be quite aggressive. She seemed a little overwhelmed too. I think she didn't quite know what to do, but was not impressed with her response. Other since then, the most recent interaction that I observed, I thought he did a better job of staying calm. He gave us information. I felt like he was able to engage with us more effectively. But generally, it has been disappointing throughout this whole process. We have been reporting concerns and violations and documentation to Dane County Sheriff's Office for years. And we had a vigil out about a year ago. Lawrence and I were here for that. And it was fascinating to me that they showed up. They actually came right on Ridgland's property. Ridgland called. They weren't here at all to kind of make sure everything that we were safe or anything. We were on public property the whole time, peaceful vigil. We just had some music playing. So it has been, I think, just a surprising experience kind of throughout this whole process with police interactions.
Where is Wayne Hsiung? He is obviously the leader in all of this. He's a former constitutional law professor. He's been arrested. He's been acquitted. He's been convicted. He's done time here in California. He's the leader of the open rescue movement. I could certainly say at least one of them. this was his action. Where is he?
He is still inside the facility as far as we know. We have not seen actually any activists leave. So I think there's about 30 of them at least that are still inside the facility. But we have not seen Wayne at all. The only activist I've seen has been Alexandra Paul right here. So I believe Wayne has been arrested.
Yeah,
he is not,
I got communication while I was in the van that he had been arrested.
But he's still
Yeah,
there.
I
don't know
thought
where
I
he
heard
is.
a police officer say that he was in a police van, nice and warm, and because the activists were saying, if you want us to move, Wayne, the officer said Wayne will tell you to move, and then they said, well, have Wayne come out and tell us, and Wayne never did come out.
Yeah. So I don't think he's actually been transported anywhere yet, but it sounds like he has been arrested.
Yeah. So again, you are urging everybody, call the police. They are being inundated with calls, but it's very important, according to you, to call the police right now. It's a critical juncture. Why is it important?
It's so important for all of the thousands of dogs still on site at Ridgland. So it sounds like, I think 22 dogs, is that what you heard last, Jane, too? Have been beautiful. Yeah, so 22 dogs. But there's still over 2,000 dogs inside the facility currently. And so it is so important that we call law enforcement, we call police, we call Department of Agriculture, who regulates their license, to get the rest of the dogs out. That's the only way we're going to get their dogs out.
Yeah, and so you would like them to take the dogs. Uh-oh. Okay, let's see. I hate to say this, but yeah, you're.
I believe
Wayne's over there.
I think looks like Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne's over here.
Wayne is over here. I'm going to try to get you closer, Jane.
Okay. Be careful. Don't do anything that don't go into private property or anything that you feel is dangerous. Do not take any risks on our behalf. I want to make that very clear. You are watching History in the Making. This is extraordinary. We are live in Wisconsin. There's a mass open rescue of beagles happening. They have about 2,000 beagles in there. They've gotten 22 to freedom at this point. And there are activists that remain inside the facility, or at least on the grounds. There's police there. The famous activist actress Alexandra Paul is talking to law enforcement right now. And what the activists want is for all the animals inside that facility to be removed to good homes and not to be experimented on. Now, Wayne Hsiung did take this facility to court in essence, and got a judge to agree to appoint a special prosecutor. That special prosecutor, and I'm going to get rid of this comment here for a second so you can see the ruling. The special prosecutor basically said, where is it? Here it is. Sorry. The special prosecutor said, Ridglan Farms will shut down its dog sale and breeding for sale operations in exchange for the state not prosecuting the alleged violations. There was testimony from a whistleblower that painful experiments were being done on dogs without anesthesia by non-veterinarians. However, even though that will end the mass breeding and sale of thousands of beagles for research, the company is still allowed to conduct research and breed their own dogs to use in research performed at this facility. That's the sticking point. That's the sticking point. Okay, we're going to go back live out to the location.
This van has been around.
What's happening?
That is, I believe, one of the vans that the activists originally had. I don't know who's. They sped out real fast.
No, it's not an activist van.
No, what is it? Tell me.
No, I'm pretty confident it's a Ridglan van, and we actually had seen a.
That is the Ridglan. Yeah.
Yeah, our plans did not drive up there.
Did you get their like? I kind of have their license plate, so we
I think I got it as well. Yeah. So we were right.
Yeah. That makes sense.
There was a van that had been around. We'd seen a van.
Following you initially in? When did
so there was part of the conference. We did a simulation at the Capitol, and various places where activists were staying or whatnot. We did see a van, and I believe it was probably that van. Like, I'm pretty confident that was the van that we saw. Yeah. There was a van that's been around.
It drove like it was a Ridglan vehicle.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was up there. We didn't drive up there. We not like that was. We did not drive.
Where
in
is Alexandra Paul
Alexandra
right
Paul is
now?
currently being searched, and it looks like she is.
Can we see that?
She's handcuffed now. I can see her. I don't know if you can see her, Jane. I apologize. We can't zoom.
Okay, so you're saying Alexandra Paul, the former Baywatch actress, very famous actress, been in hundreds of movies. She's also an animal activist. She's being arrested and cuffed right now.
That is correct, Jane. She is between the couple cars.
Switch to the back camera. You can zoom.
I can't with this.
And who's singing? Can we see that as well?
Yeah.
We will walk with you, sing your spirit on, and sing your spirit on. And there's one perfect callback kind of thing together. So we all say, activists, our friends, you will not walk alone. We will walk with you.
What's happening? I see a car moving.
Alexandra Paul has just been taken away in custody.
And explain why she is being arrested. Is she just the most prominent person, or are there other arrests coming?
That's a great question. It's a little hard to tell so far. So far, I've only seen Alexandra Paul, so I don't know if she was sent out to talk with police. Everyone else who was on site is still in the facility. So there's a lot to still be determined. We just don't know yet.
Wow. So that's very interesting because, you know, she's going to make news. She is going to make news. There's going to be news reporting. And I want to use a clip of Alexandra Paul testifying in court in another case where she explains open rescue.
Open rescue is going into facilities where there's animal abuse and documenting that animal abuse and rescuing the animals who need medical care. And that's the rescue part. And then the open part is that we don't cover our faces. We are completely transparent about what we're doing, because that's an important ethic to us, and because the companies that we're investigating are not transparent, and also because we believe that what we're doing is legal and right.
Wow, that's Alexandra Paul. She is famous for Baywatch, the TV series, and many other movies. And she was just taken away. This is breaking news. She was just taken away.
We might leave, but I'm going to try to find out if there's more people still on the property. Because I know some red and yellow team already did leave, and they're back at the Masonic Center. But there could be still people still on. So let's hop in our cars and just relax, and we can, type on our phones and stuff. And okay, I'll get back to you and we'll decide what to do.
You catch that, Jane?
No, tell us.
It sounds like, apologies. The rain is just lots of difficulties. But it sounds like I think we're all going to maybe warm up in cars for a minute. It's really cold here. And then we're going to figure out a game plan. We are not sure yet who is still on site at Ridglan. We've only seen Alexandra leave. It sounds like some other folks may have also left with the transport vehicles earlier. So I'm going to go off for a few minutes. I'll be back with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you. All right. So, this is history in the making. I want to talk to Tiffany for a second. Tiffany, wow. See, Alexandra Paul is incredibly courageous, because I know, having been in the news business, that when a celebrity is arrested, it makes news. So she is sort of a sacrificial lamb, as it were. She's allowing herself to get arrested because she knows that is going to make news, because that's how the mainstream media works.
And she's so brave, Jane. And all the activists that were there today, I'm looking at that weather and I'm getting cold just watching it. So just want to thank everybody that's out there. I'm drinking warm tea and I'm still cold watching it. So everybody's so brave to risk arrest and to put up with this terrible snow rainstorm. It's really exciting. And if people keep calling the number to call the sheriff's department to let them know, or the police department, that they want the dogs to go to freedom, they want them to get adopted and go to loving homes. And it's really hopeful. 22 dogs free.
Yeah, and I want to see if looking at some of the other feeds here, and I'm seeing similar things to what we've seen in terms of these actions, but there are some videos out there which we'll bring you at some point that show the actual going into the facility. You've seen it. Tell us your thoughts on that.
Yes, it shows Wayne and a few group of rescuers going in the door, and then right after it shows one of the beagles coming out of a window. And I do want to say that the facility from the video looks like just long sheds, just really long sheds. I can't imagine that there's much heat there. There's no blankets for the dogs. They're kept in these small cages 24/7. They never get to go outside, never get to see the sunlight, never get to go and walk in grass. So it's pretty amazing too when you see
people are saying, please keep the phone up as long as possible, the phone number. Now, I just want to go over one more time why this is so important. And it's true. The reason why all of this has transpired is public pressure. Let's just recap and review very quickly. It was in 2017, that's almost a decade ago, that Wayne Hsiung went into this facility, documented conditions like dogs spinning constantly, dogs with injuries. They were going to prosecute him. They were going to put him on trial. At the 11th hour, they dropped all the charges against Wayne Hsiung, saying that the company itself did not want to charge him. Then they thought maybe Wayne Hsiung would go away and they wouldn't have to worry about this situation anymore. No. What happened was that Wayne Hsiung came back, had mobilized the local community. You can see it right here. This is outside the courthouse in Wisconsin, Dane County. And he got a judge. We were proud, Unchained TV was proud to be the pool camera for this. And I'm going to show it to you. There's Wayne in court. A judge heard the allegations against this facility. And there was a point where a whistleblower testified that he had seen non-veterinarians doing painful experiments without anesthesia on dogs. And as a result of that, she appointed a special prosecutor. The special prosecutor then investigated and came up with an agreement whereby Ridglan Farms avoided prosecution for alleged violations. In return, they agreed to shut down the dog sale and breeding for sale operations. However, they could still conduct research and breed the dogs on their property. And that's what these activists are upset about. They're saying, hey, if it was enough to get them to agree to shut down their dog sale and breeding for sale operations in exchange for not being prosecuted, why give them this loophole? And so the activists have been asking for a long time for a situation similar to what happened with Beagle, another massive breeding facility. This one was in Cumberland, Virginia, where Beagle pleaded guilty to neglecting dogs, paid a huge fine. And something like 4,000 beagles, this was after a PETA investigation, were removed and are living their best lives in homes. That's what these activists want for the dogs at the Ridglan facility. And that's why, after trying to get that for the longest time and not being successful, they decided to move in today. So the question is, will the powers that be now say, okay, because again, the last time I checked, and I don't know about every county in the country, but sheriffs are often elected. So there's politicians involved. And when the people express their will strongly and loudly, a lot of times they listen. In fact, Wayne Hsiung said it was only public pressure that worked. This is why they're saying, please call this number. Okay. So take us through the process. You called the number. Do you have to press a special number? What do you have to do?
Yes. Press 6. And then
after you call the number,
call the number and then press 6. And then hopefully you'll get a receptionist will come on and take your name and number. Tell them there's some stuff you can say. Tell them what you're calling about. And what they're doing is taking the numbers and they're saying that they'll get back to us.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, why take the numbers? Why don't they take the comments? I contact, my legislators and everything all the time, and they take the number, but they don't say they're going to call you back. They say, what's your comment? Did they encourage you to comment?
Yeah, well, there's yes. And someone posted a good, I think we posted it earlier, if you're not sure what to say, but just to say that you want the Ridglan dogs to be adopted out, go to good loving homes, and not taken back to the facility, and to get the remaining dogs out.
All right. Well, we have been on for 3 hours now. I want to thank Tiffany Brunelli and our team behind the scenes, Michelle Celestino and others, Lindsay Baker and Karen LaCava, all the people who are supporting us behind the scenes. I'd like to thank everybody who's watching. Again, jot down this number. If you haven't called yet, let's say you have to walk the dogs. That's what I have to do right now. And you know what? While you talk for a second, I'm going to bring the star of the show back. So tell us your final thoughts, and I'm going to bring the star of the show back.
Jane, I'm just so excited that they were able to get 22 dogs to safety that we know of. I know Wayne and the teams have been planning this for a while. And again, I just want to thank everybody that went from all over the country, a few activists from here. I know an activist from outside of San Diego that went. We're not used to that kind of weather. People had to go and buy special gear, and just thank them all. And hopefully this will result in a mass with all these calls. And I remember when I was reading about in Beagle, they said, I was reading that after the PETA investigation came out, that the governor actually went to the facility to see what's going on here. And he actually took a tour himself. And that's when the ball really got rolling to get those dogs removed and the facility closed down. I know that Dane for Dogs is putting a lot of pressure on the governor there and the local government there, and they haven't been able to get very far. But hopefully with this action and all these calls, and keep sharing this out.
So Kim Delgado, and by the way, this is the star. This is my Beagle Mix Wednesday. She's been holding it in, people, for 3 hours. So we're going to have to wrap this up in a minute. Okay, baby, hold on. I'll take you out in a second. Hold on. Whoa. But you can see how docile she is. That's why they use dogs for experimentation. But somebody here challenged me to thank you, Karen LaCava, for your kind words. Here, Kim Delgado challenged me. If you're on your computer, why not call live here on camera? Well, first of all, I want to say I'm not going to put it on speaker. California is a two-party state, which means that I require the permission of the other party before I can record it. So I'm not going to record it, but you asked me to call, I'm going to call.
Great idea.
Here we go. I'm calling right now. Let's see what happens. Excuse me. My call cannot be completed as dialed. Did I get it right? Hold on. You hear this? This is a recording, so I can play it. 2664. Oh, wait a second. Oh, hold on. This is very important. Time for the glasses, people. I'm going to make sure my number is correct. 602-266-4948. Is
No,
that the
Jane,
number?
I think it's 608. Did you get 608 in there?
Okay, sorry. That's why I put my glasses on. 608. Okay. 266-4948. Okay, 608-266-49. Okay, I'm going to call. Correct me if I'm wrong. 608-266-4948. Okay. So I'm going to call right now. Again, I am not going to put anybody on speaker.
Opening tres. If you have a life-threatening emergency, press 1 now. To report a parking violation in the city of Madison, say parking or press 5. To report or ask about a situation occurring now, say occurring now or press 6.
Okay, now I'm going to take it off speaker. Again, I'm not going to put any human being on the phone. Okay, it's ringing. It's ringing. Yes, hi. My name is Jane Velez Mitchell. I'm a journalist, but I'm also the proud parent of a Beagle. And I would like to say, yes, I would like to say that these, right. Right. No, but I'm calling to say, please take the Beagle that we saw was confiscated and do not return that Beagle to Ridgland.
Yep, the officers are doing what they can within the confines of the law. Like I said, they're on scene. They've been handling it for quite a few hours.
Yeah, well, I'm speaking for a lot of people when I say that they would like to see the Beagles sent to good homes. All of them. We've had hundreds of calls. You've had hundreds of calls, sir. Thank you very much.
We've had so many people calling and well aware.
Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Well, okay, we learned something. Good idea, Kim. I called as a Beagle owner, and let's put it this way. As an editorial, Unchained TV would like to see all those Beagles in good homes. Okay. As the founder or president of Unchained TV, I could say that. Let's transfer them to good homes. That's our editorial position. He said they've gotten hundreds of calls. That is a direct quote. And he was very nice, very polite. And I was very polite. I always think it's better to be polite. And so you can get through, call this number, then press 6. And then you will speak to a person if my experience is typical. So I think this is really important. I want to thank everybody for being a part of this. Everybody who's watching, you are a part of this. Share this video out, okay? Share it out, be part of the solution. And, you know, this is just one issue. Unchained TV, we are a 501c3 nonprofit news network for animal rights. You can download us on your phone, and I urge everybody just to go to your app store and download Unchained TV. It's very easy. It's completely safe. It's completely free. There's 2,000 videos, including this one is playing right now. You could see that it's playing right now. And the great thing is you can text this. You can text this video to anybody you want to, along with the other 2,000 plus videos. We have vegan cooking shows and all sorts of other things. So I appreciate it. It takes a village, as they say. Let's do this. You got the number on your screen, jot it down, and we will update you as this story progresses. Thank you so much.
So it's a vegan Netflix. Okay, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I love Unchained TV.
Unchained TV. Your life will change. It's just that easy.
Unchained TV has all sorts of content for everybody.
Unchained TV changed my life.
Unchained TV is crushing it.
I love Unchained TV. Unchained TV is my go-to.
Unchained TV. Who knew?
Unchained, baby. Yay!